and Mike Salk.
All right, hello, good morning. Hello, everybody. Brock and Salk Show, Seattle Sports here on 710, seattlesports.com. Seattle Sports app, all the podcast platforms out there. Apple, where we're still stuck at a 4.6. We're trying to get better. Just want people to like the show. It's just unfortunately only a 4.6 rating there. But one day, maybe we'll make it to 4.7. Maybe one day if we're lucky. But also, you can find us on YouTube. Usually that's working. We had a little problem yesterday morning, but we got that fixed. We know how to fix things around here. We're very handy with the YouTube, and so YouTube's up and running. 97.3 HD2 if you like your radio locally here in crystal clear, high definition as you're driving around. That's how I generally consume the station, 97.3 HD2. All right, just, there are days when you come in to work. I'm not going to lie. I don't mind being honest with you guys. There's days when you come into work and you're like, what are we going to talk about today? I'm going to figure something out, obviously, but like, what are we going to talk about? Like, how are we going to make today interesting? How are we going to make today relevant? We got 4 hours every day. We never like to use the word fill here on this show. It's very important to us. We're not trying to fill up 4 hours. We're trying to give you great content 4 hours a day. But there are days that are easier, days that are harder. Today's easier. Let me just be very clear. Today, easier. Mariners, first place, crash course here with what appears to be winning the AL West and a number 2 seed in the American League. Unbelievable. Seahawks 2-1, and you look around and a bunch of the teams that are, kind of expected to be at or near the top are having some problems. So last night, Ravens lose to Detroit. You know who the Ravens play next week? Top of your head. Who do the Ravens play next?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs. One of those two teams is going to be 1-3. Right? Isn't that crazy?
It is.
Either the Ravens or the Chiefs are going to be 1-3 by the end of next weekend. That's remarkable. That's just kind of how the NFL works, right? Where just when you think that you got the league figured out and you know who's going to be on top and who's not, and quarterback this and roster that, lose a couple of games, you find yourself at 1-3, and you got to really work your butt off to get out of that as young new teams kind of fill the void. There's always surprises in the NFL, and kind of go through it maybe a little bit later. But you start looking at the Seahawks schedule now that you've got a little bit better sense of the teams that they're going to play. Yeah, it sets up probably a little bit better than you might have thought 3-4 weeks ago. So love the position that the Seahawks are at and probably getting healthier. Nice to see Zach Charbonnet, full participation in practice yesterday. If they had actually practiced, it was all just an estimate, but you get the idea. Lots of positive momentum heading into their second division clash on Thursday night. And so with that in mind, we've just totally guessed it up today's show. With all of that in mind, you're barely going to hear from us. I mean, you will, but you know what I mean. Scott Hunter, Mariners director of scouting, is actually going to end up being tomorrow. He's flying back to Seattle today. No doubt he wants to be here if the team clinches. Wouldn't you? If you were as instrumental as anybody in the creation of this team as a director first of amateur scouting and then scouting, he's as instrumental as anybody. He should absolutely be here if and when they clinch tonight or tomorrow. And we'll go through all those scenarios over the course of the morning. So we'll chat with him tomorrow morning at 7:30 before Joel Klatt at 8:30. So today, 8:30, Jeff Passan. 9:30, Daniel Jeremiah. But the little wrinkle thrown in here today, and kudos to Brock for getting this done, the legend himself. One of the great guests we've ever had on this show. And we've only talked to him once. Al freaking Michaels joins the show at 9:15 this morning. Al Michaels is better than other guests. He's Al Michaels. The guy called The Miracle on Ice and has been the top broadcaster in the game since forever.
I think he's pretty much called all of the professional sports, hasn't he?
He's called everything. He's a legend.
Yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, he's a legend. He went to ASU.
Is that true?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
I don't even think I knew that.
Yeah.
I don't believe I knew that. Well, hopefully, Lyle, when you get him on the phone, you guys can have a little bonding moment, right?
I think Maura's going to get him on the phone.
Oh, well, you can chirp in from the back
can
or
call him,
something.
Kyle.
Oh,
Do you want to name us some other ASU legends? You said it like it was so common.
Right, like one of the many.
I mean, there is a lot.
There are a lot. Yes, that was spoken exactly like an ASU legend. There is a lot.
I mean, you want me to rattle off others? I mean,
Yeah.
me,
Legend in your own mind, buddy. Legend in your
Barry
own
Bonds.
mind.
I mean, it's two people in the same sentence right there.
Can you give me some non-athletes that are ASU legends?
Huh. Let me think on that.
All right, you think on that for a little bit. I know challenging for an ASU grad like yourself. And anyway, Al Michaels will join us at 9:15. You have till 9:15 to try to figure that out. You realize the Mariners could clinch tonight? We'll talk in great detail about this at 7 o'clock. But have you guys ever been to a clinching game? You ever watched a team clinch?
I was at the Cal Clincher.
It's pretty awesome. Clinches are great.
I don't think I have.
So one of the great years of my life was 2007 because it's my one real experience covering on a day-to-day basis a team that ultimately ended up winning the World Series, and it was awesome, right? I was there for every bit of that entire run for the Red Sox as they ended up beating the Rockies, who we'll get a chance to see tonight. That Rockies team was a little better than this Rockies team, as it turns out. They made it to the World Series. This Rockies team, I think, is going to be, they're not going to win 50 games. So, a little bit of a difference in terms of Rockies teams. But being around that team and getting a chance to see what it was like each time they reached a different plateau, right? You clinch the wild card, you clinch the playoff, like all of the different things that went on along the way. You win the ALDS, the ALCS, you win the World Series, and seeing the progressively larger parties that went down in the clubhouse and just, spilling out onto the field, occasionally into local bars. It was really, really remarkable to watch a team continue to build on their own confidence, on their own excitement, and take the fans along for that ride with them. It was a unique experience for me to be in the clubhouse with them and see it all. Not that I was there celebrating, but just watching it. And, they come back after a win and the lockers are tarped off so that they could celebrate, and champagne and beer going everywhere and still keep everything from, smelling terribly. I'm sure they, designed the carpeting in these locker rooms and clubhouses to be able to handle that kind of disgusting amount of alcohol and fermented. It's just gross. But they figured it out. And watching the guys and the unbridled joy that they have, especially in baseball. I know teams of all sports celebrate, but there is something about the 6-month, and really, if you make it all the way to the World Series, it's an 8-month slog. It's a month of spring training, a month of playoff baseball, and 6 months of regular season in between. So if you make it all the way, it's an 8-month slog. There is no other sport like that. There's a reason we talk about baseball being a marathon. And it's why teams celebrate every single step along the way. You don't see NFL teams bring out the champagne and the beer and everything else when they win a wild card game, because it doesn't have the same significance, and they haven't been working on it for as long as a baseball team has. Just different. So if you get an opportunity tonight, they have an opportunity to clinch the playoffs. Tomorrow, they may have an opportunity to clinch the AL West. It's possible, unlikely, but possible tomorrow they could wrap up the number 2 seed. Very possible that they could do that on Thursday. They're going to need some help from Detroit. But if the Mariners win tonight and tomorrow and Detroit loses both games, it's over. You have the number 2 seed wrapped up. Magic number's 4. And I will explain it again just quickly here because it's funny to me. There hasn't been a lot of opportunity in Seattle for the last 25 years for people to clinch much of anything. The magic number, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the magic number, means it is a combination of Mariner wins and whatever other team we're talking about losses, adding up to the magic number, clinches the playoffs, the division, the number 2 seed, whatever it is we're talking about. That's the magic number. So opportunities really all 3 nights against a Rockies team. Plus, isn't it fun to go to the ballpark and watch your team win? That's always kind of fun, right? You're never going to be as close to guaranteed a win as you are these 3 days. Nothing is guaranteed in sports. But the difference between the Mariners and this Rockies team is remarkable. Really, really, really remarkable. In fact, coming up in a minute, I'm going to give you guys everything you need to know. And when I do, I'm going to tell you about, hold on, let me find his name. McCade Brown. You know McCade Brown? You a big McCade Brown fan? Anybody know McCade Brown? I'm going to tell you about McCade Brown, and I'm going to give you 3 numbers that will knock your socks off heading into tonight. It's next on Brock and Salk.
The Mike Macdonald Show, the morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
Is that yesterday about as complete a team win as you can get?
I'd say it's probably the most complete win we've had in the last year or so. Yeah, it was a great win. It's also week 3, and when you watch the tape, I'm not saying this because you're doing the whole head coach doing the opposite thing, but there's plenty of stuff that we get it cleaned up and we got to do it in a hurry.
Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app and seattlesports.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Dave Wyman here, and since I stopped playing football, we've been fortunate to live in the same house for over 20 years. That type of longevity is a good thing, except 20 years in the same house means a lot of things start to break. Most recently, it's our windows. Virtually every seal has broken, and that's why I reached out to Harley Exteriors. They're local, they're huge fans of our teams, and big listeners to the station. Better yet, they have the best product. Olympic Series windows offered exclusively through Harley Exteriors are manufactured in Washington, designed for Pacific Northwest homes and climate. That means cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. To celebrate the start of football season, the guys at Harley Exteriors are offering no interest and no payments for an entire year. Also, buy one window and get the second one 40% off. And take another $200 off your entire project. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY. Or go to harleyexteriors.com.
After 35 years in the window industry, I know choosing the right team for your window or door project is a big decision. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Treating your home with care while offering top quality products is important to me. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards, reduce noise by up to 50%, and feature low maintenance, clean glass technology. Combined with our leading leak armor installation and lifetime warranty, you get protection for life. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
This is Joe Budden. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. So I'm here to make sure you don't miss any of the daily fantasy action this football season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right.
Download the Prize Picks app today and use code PLAYNOW to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. That's code PLAYNOW to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Out here, pets are always by your side. Watching the herd, running fence lines, or asleep at your feet. Pets are some of our favorite customers. When you bring them along to Tractor Supply, we'll always have a treat waiting. And with our price match guarantee, you'll always get the best price on their favorite food, toys, treats they love, and pet meds to keep them healthy. Tractor Supply, for pets out here.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app. It's G. Scott. School's back and it's rally time. Time to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong and stay focused, but for families on tight budgets, that's not easy. Safeway and the Washington State Department of Health have teamed up and need your help. Every dollar you donate at Safeway checkout helps families in need. And with SNAP Produce Match, they get twice as much for the dollar. Next time you're at Safeway, please donate to keep kids healthy.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Toyota of Kirkland's Service Department has you covered as the summer winds down and the fall approaches. At Toyota of Kirkland, be confident in your brakes with the complimentary brake inspection. Get winter ready with a free battery health check, wiper blade installation, and multi-point inspection. Thinking of trading in? Get a complimentary vehicle appraisal. Stay ahead with the maintenance service plan at $374 plus tax. And yes, they match coupons from other local Toyota dealers. Visit toyotaofkirkland.com to schedule your service today. Drive safe, drive smart with Toyota of Kirkland.
O'Brien. Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
All right, guys, final homestand of the season, and it starts tonight. There's so much on the line. They can clinch a postseason spot as early as tonight. Takes a win and a Yankees win, oddly, over the White Sox. They can also clinch the AL West as early as tomorrow with any combination of wins and Astros losses adding up to 3. And yes, they could clinch the number 2 seed as early as tomorrow as well. It would take a combination of Mariners wins and Tigers losses adding up to 4. So that's what's on tap. How good is this team? I think they're really good. And you start listening to people around the baseball world. Doug Glanville pretty pumped and pretty high on these Mariners.
I mean, they could win it all. They absolutely could. They have the personnel. They have the offense. They have the pitching. And, you know, they seem to have the belief, too, because the way they're coming, they went into Houston and wiped them out in their home field against some of their best pitchers. Just shows, like, you know, where they are. And there's a lot at stake, of course, in the next 6 days, the next 6 games. But they're a team that has power, especially after the trade they made for Suarez and Josh Naylor. And they're, you know, they have starters that can really take care of business in a 7-game series, and they have a back end of the bullpen. So, you know, with Cal Raleigh in the middle of all that, they are a tough team.
Yeah, they are, and they're about to hopefully pad their stats a little bit here over the course of the next couple days against Colorado. All right, you want to know how bad Colorado is? I know some of you guys get upset when I start talking about the reality and the numbers surrounding these teams, but here's a couple of numbers about the Rockies. They're some of these things are like really almost hard to read out loud. Their record on the year is 43 and 113. 43 and 113. But they're not as bad at home. The problem is when they go on the road, they're 18 and 57. Like, I can't even say those words. Okay. That's the Rockies. They have a negative 404 run differential. They're going to allow more than 1,000 runs this season. They're at 988 right now. The Mariners, just for contrast, have allowed 673. So you're talking about a 300 run difference just in terms of how many they've given up. But Bryce Miller is going to go tonight, and he is going to start against McCade Brown. Lyle, are you familiar with McCade Brown? Do you know that name?
Funny enough, no.
Let me give you 3 numbers about McCade Brown. He is 0-4. Not a huge surprise. What do you think his ERA is off the top of your head?
I've looked at all these Rockies starters' ERA, and all of them start with 6. So
well, his does not. His is 9.17.
Oh, good.
He's got a 9.17 ERA, but that's not his worst stat. What do you think the whip is? Walks and hits per innings pitched for McCade Brown, knowing that 1 makes you a very good pitcher.
Considering you're sitting here asking this, I'm going to say 2.5.
2.09. Not quite 2.5, but 2.1 essentially. That is a staggering combination of numbers. 9.17 ERA, 2.09 whip. Game starts at 6:40.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Sorry, that just blew me away. Short week for the Seahawks. Mostly good news on the injury report. Yes, a couple of names who were linked, who were limited, but mostly veterans. Not that convinced or concerned, rather, given the short week. Leonard Williams, Boye Mafe, Elijah Arroyo, Robbie Oots, all limited. But good news, Zach Charbonnet, full participant. Witherspoon, Love, even Nick Eamon-Wari, all partial participants as well. So maybe all 3 could at least be, could give it a shot. To be fair, all of this was really just an estimate of what they would have done since there was no actual practice until, I believe, today. It was nice to talk to Mike Macdonald yesterday. You'll hear a lot more of that coming up. But in terms of injuries, here's what he had to say.
I'm going to make an absolute designation right now. Hold me to it now. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We're working through the test this morning. Take it day by day. Fortunately, at some point, we're probably going to have to test it out before the game. We're not going to be really fast-paced till Thursday again. So kind of we'll see.
Last couple weeks.
Still tricky without practicing, throughout the week. Yeah, full speed.
Definitely weird on a short week. Solid win for Detroit last night. They owned the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball, and beat the Ravens by a touchdown.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Betting odds now showing Cal Raleigh essentially pulling even with Aaron Judge, and New Yorkers are having a conniption over it. We'll get to some of their sound a little bit later. Look, some of that's just money moving towards Cal, which has changed the odds, but that money's moving because of what he's accomplished and the way he's being discussed, not just here locally, but nationally. Austin Hedges.
Perform like a position player does is something that I really don't know we'll ever see again. I mean, even for him to be able to repeat it will be incredible. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, last year when he hit 30 homers and drove in 100 and won the Platinum Glove, that's one of the greatest catching seasons of all time. Like, just absolutely mind-boggling how good he was last year. And now he's just completely, just 10 times himself. So to me, that's the MVP of baseball this year.
Wow. He's the MVP?
To me, he's the most valuable player in the American League. What he has done for Seattle and that group, their team is obviously much better now. They've made some moves. But for 4 months of the season, it was Cal Raleigh. Cal Raleigh giving up no runs behind the plate and hitting all the homers.
He's absolutely right about that last point, and I was going to make it later because we've got some sound from various New Yorkers saying, and this is remarkable, by the way, Cal's got a better supporting cast than Judge, which is freaking hilarious coming out of New York. I mean, laugh out loud comedy. Unreal. Give them a late night show. But the argument back is, yeah, maybe now, but they don't get there if Cal didn't carry a okay team for the first 4 months of the year. Get out of here. Such garbage. Kraken, by the way, second preseason game tonight. They're in Calgary, tomorrow in Edmonton, and that is everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk show. Have you ever heard the ability of the Yankees fans and the Yankee state media to twist everything, no matter what it is, to twist every story to help their little poor band of brothers over there is truly remarkable. It's remarkable. You never see anything like it. Never seen anything like it. Oh, poor Judge, poor Aaron. He doesn't have enough help. The Mariners have such a better team.
I was surprised to hear that Evan Roberts, who we're going to hear from later, says he's so annoyed because there are a couple of guys at their station, W fan, who believe Cal is the MVP, and it's driving him crazy. But apparently there are a couple guys there that are in support of Cal.
Yeah, because they're trying to play the opposite, right, and get listeners by making people mad, the Skip Bayless role, whatever. Yankee state media will always find a way, and we'll see whether or not they're able to reach the rest of the whole East Coast crew. All right, I want to make sure we got enough time for Mike Macdonald, so stick around. The coach is coming up next, and then a full day full of guests. Al Michaels, Jeff Passan, Daniel Jeremiah, Brock Heward will be here. Yes, it's Brock and Salk. Seattle Sports on your home where you could hear the Mariners clinch tonight. Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com.
Move aside, Junior.
Swung on. That is cranked. Right field.
Make way for Cal.
It is on its way. It is history. Number 57.
Congratulations, Cal Raleigh.
The most home runs for a Seattle Mariner in a single season.
As Cal rewrites the history books and builds his case for MVP, this is where you hear it all. The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Let's go! You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bail Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bailalarm.com today.
Our bats are back, and the ballpark is rocking like 2001. I'm Dr. Ryan Stern with the Stern Sinus Center. For those of you sick of searching for another allergy medication, we offer a solution that will save you time, money, and frustration. Rynair is a simple, minimally invasive procedure that significantly reduces postnasal drip and stuffiness. We're taking new patients. Schedule your appointment in Auburn or Federal Way or go to sternsinus.com.
If you use the carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a Good-to-Go account, you'll soon receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good-to-Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela. Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
I'm Brent, and I've been on Nutrafol for almost 5 years now. I liked Nutrafol because it was a hair growth supplement that was completely drug-free. After 3 months, my hair got stronger and thicker, which gave a huge boost to my social life. I mean, it was life-changing, to be honest.
Get growing at Nutrafol.com/men. That's Nutrafol.com/men. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition. Real customers were compensated to share their stories.
Maura Dooley here. It's time to recognize a woman in our sports community with the 2025 Women of Inspiration Award. The nominations are in, and the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events, needs your help selecting a winner. Voting is open now until September 26th at woiseattle.org. The winner will receive a generous cash donation from WISE and their partners for the cause of their choice. Help honor a local woman today. Vote by September 26th at woiseattle.org.
Get rid of stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin with ProSculpt, the simple one-day permanent fat reduction and skin tightening treatment. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com.
Your future is looking bright. Win a share of $150,000 in glorious golden hour cash prizes every Saturday night in September. Get ready for 24-karat fun with new winners drawn every half hour starting at 6 p.m. Stay till midnight for the guaranteed grand finale of 10 grand, 50 grand on the last Saturday of the month. Don't forget, your Reef Rewards card can save you up to 25 cents per gallon at Lummi Bay Market next to Silver Reef. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5 exit 260.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt ductless heat pump system from Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every Quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at homecomfortalliance.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license, unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speed lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a month in bill credits plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at tmobile.com.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
This is the Mike Macdonald Show, presented by your local 76 and Conoco stations, exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Well, first of 2 Mike Macdonald shows this week, as we'll do it again on Friday, coming off the Thursday night short week. But Coach, with us right now. Good morning. Congratulations, 2 in a row.
Thanks. Yeah, it was good to see you guys.
Is that
I'm fired up 2 times this week. That's news to me.
You can see the excitement. It's just emanating out of him. Wow, look at how pumped he is. Is that yesterday about as complete a team win as you can get?
I'd say it's probably the most complete win we've had since in the last year or so. Yeah, I mean, look, it was a great win. It was awesome. It's also week 3, and we've gotten to this point by sticking to, abiding by our process and staying true to that. When you watch the tape, I'm not saying this because you're doing the whole head coach doing the opposite thing, but there's plenty of stuff that we get it cleaned up and we got to do it in a hurry in all 3 phases. So it's great. It's great to win like that and start the game like that. But it's also great. 1, hey, there's a sense of urgency because we got to get going because we're in the middle of game planning for Arizona, and 2, I think the guys will see that there's a lot of room for growth too.
What have you been told by somebody, Mike, that you occasionally couch the positive with what needs to improve?
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
Never? No.
Wow. First time for everything, Brock. Amazing what's going on here.
Oh, you know what stuck with Salk and I last week? Salky really liked it, and it resonated with me as well. Your term of shocking effort. You want to be known as a team and as a group that has that shocking effort. Do you showcase that? I know this is a short week, so maybe it's a little funky and you got to get right to business because of the game on Thursday. But is that something that you would put together clips of and highlight and show? And if so,
yeah.
Where was that yesterday?
I think a lot of the tactics and the small details in front of the team, that's not really my job. I like showing how we play through our style and trying to reinforce our style of ball. And so a lot of times it is through that, and it doesn't have to be just shocking effort. There's a lot of things that show up. It's how we run an in cut. It's how we identify a blitz, how we get lined up fast, how we take the field, how we break the huddle, how we shift in motion. All those things are really important, and we think those are edges for us. So we want the team to see it and see how it all works together, how it sets things up, and how it puts pressure on other teams. So that's really important.
Could you give us one from yesterday? One example of that?
Yeah, I'd say the keeper that we threw to Sabi, and then we ended up shoving him down to the 1 yard line. That's been a point of emphasis, and so I can't. That one will be shown today.
That's pretty cool. I like him. He just is built like a prototypical tight end.
I like him too.
For whatever reason, just seeing him out there, that's a big moose of a tight end, and it's a good lead into kind of the full, not just you say 12 is one, but it could be 53 is one. It could be 70 is one in some ways.
Right.
Just looking at the complete whole team, how do you as a coach balance and find ways to connect with some of the guys that people outside the organization might consider the edges of the roster? I know you feel they have great importance. How do you find a way to connect with them and know who they are just as much as you do the quarterback and some of the biggest, most prominent stars on the team?
Well, I don't think we I hope people realize it's not like we rank our players and treat them accordingly.
Understandable.
They're Seahawks. We love them. We're coaching everybody. They're our guys. So we all love them up. It's like they're kids. You guys do different things and stuff, but you love them the same. I only have one kid, so I really don't know how that feels.
Yeah, you'll love them the same. Mostly. Depends on the day.
That's what my parents told me, but like Maggie's my dad's clear favorite. I'm probably my mom's favorite. So there's levels.
Nice.
But those contributions from that ready squad, right? You don't call them the practice squad. They're the ready squad, and their contributions showed up in big ways yesterday. Talk to me about, in particular, the back end of your secondary. Because on paper, it would have been very easy for some to go, oh, my gosh, no Love again, or no Love, no Emmanwori, no Spoon again. How are you going to put this thing together? You call up Bell. Okada slides into the mix there. Obviously, again, a prominent role for Darian. How did that back end come together, and how do you do that in kind of short order?
I mean, yeah, we said it yesterday after the game. After watching the tape, the guys did a lot of things. Their execution was we were lacking some of that detail at the beginning of the year. The guys are on it right now. I think we can still clean up our communication, starting with me. Getting it to the rest of the team, and New Orleans puts a lot of stress on you. They go fast in some certain situations, and our place is absolutely rocking. It's like, so it's a feat to kind of get that down the waterfall. From me all the way to all three levels of the defense, and I thought we handled it as well as you can, and something that we're going to still work on. But I thought Ty tackled well. Darian obviously had plays on the ball that we want to finish, but he's playing at a high level. DeAnthony came in and he played fast and made a lot of great plays in the box. So, yeah, I mean, those guys played a great game. And look, I mean, it's not like you say, okay, let's pull out the reserve, the next wave of guys are coming in. Let's pull out that playbook. This is what you need to do A through D throughout the week. It's like, no, I mean, these guys have been in the meetings. They've been taking reps. Now they're actually taking the majority of the ones reps throughout the week, and we go through our process. And it's gonna move and curve and take detours, but it does that with no matter who's playing. And I think the guys are realizing that let's stay true to it, let's trust it, attack the heck out of it, and that lets us be as confident as we can, going into Saturday and Sunday.
Since we're talking secondary, you couldn't not notice Josh Jobe. If you're watching that game at home yesterday, it felt like they threw at him a lot, and he was up to the occasion a lot. Could you talk a little bit just about his growth from when you guys first got him last year to where he is now?
I think it's just been a steady, you talk about chasing edges, stacking wings, all those things. I mean, those incremental gains. I see a guy that wants to be great and practices that way, studies that way, prepares that way. And then on game day, this guy competes. And that's all you can ask for a corner is just freaking get after it every play. Throw your fastball on whoever you're playing and let the chips fall where they may. And that's what Josh is doing. And I think we're seeing some great results. And the great thing about him is I know he's going to stick to it. It's not like this guy's saying like he's made it by any stretch, but he's just having a great start, and he's going to keep getting better. It was a great play down to the goal line. I mean, just that third down on that in cut to Olave was just was a phenomenal play.
Textbook. You want to hear the longest punt return in Seattle Seahawks history from the great Dave Rabel, and you will love the linebacker. Wyman about halfway through this. The linebacker, you'll hear his little grunt as well. Here was Mr. Horton through Steve Rabel yesterday with the longest punt return touchdown in Seahawk history.
Kroger is punting. Torrey Horton, the rookie, is deep for the Seahawks. He stands just inside his own 20. I saw Kroger during warm-ups, and he had a couple of rainmakers, and here's one. This is a long high spiral. Horton back at his own 5, gets 1 block, gets 2 blocks, turns upfield, got some running room across the 30, 35, he may go 40, what a block, midfield 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, Mr. Horton, touchdown, Seahawks! Unbelievable blocks, great run by the rookie, 95 yards, and the Seahawks take a 13-0 lead over the Saints. Holy catfish, what a return, and what a great job of blocking by those special teamers.
How does that come together? How does that happen?
Well, what I'm going to tell the team today, if I decide we have enough time, because we're at a shortage of time, but what I want the guys to realize is we talk about every play matters, and you take it one play at a time. We're 2 plays out of that. We stop them on a second down run to minimum yardage. We get them to 3rd and short. They're in no huddle short yardage. We get lined up. Leo set a great edge. Leo makes a great play. We stop them to 4th and inches. They go to the tush push. Everyone's lined up, ready to go. It looked like we probably might have stopped them in that situation, but they had the false start. They're trying to draw us off sides. We maintained it, so we ended up creating a 4th and 6, which allows us to have a more aggressive punt return. So all these things are connected, and now we can set up a punt return. And so it just shows you, all those hidden yardage plays really matter when in the NFL, and they add up over time. And then on the punt return, I mean, it's a case of Torrey making a smart decision, guys blocking, to the echo of the whistle, making smart decisions. There's about 3 guys in that took that had like a possible blindside block situation that did flybys and created lanes for Torrey, and Torrey was decisive. He stuck his foot in the ground and got north, and that's something that has been a point of emphasis with him, and to his credit, he did it and ripped it. And obviously, Chaz had a phenomenal block at the very end. I think that was on the punter to make the final block to spring him free. So a lot of great stuff that went into the whole play.
What make Jay Harbaugh, people may not be as familiar with the name, but your special teams coordinator for the last 2 years, what makes him a good coach?
This guy is relentless with finding the little edges and ways to coach it better than they've there's no such thing as status quo with Jay. It's constantly finding a new and better way to teach something, to design something, to word something that there's talk about shocking. There's so much elegance, simplicity in how he coaches position. This guy isn't just a great special teams coach. He's a great football coach. I mean, at Michigan, you name a great player that came out of Michigan in the last 10 years, Jay probably recruited him. He was the running back coach that got all those guys. He was a tight ends coach when I was there. Then he moved to safeties. I mean, he's coached all 3 levels and on all 3 phases of football. And he's one heck of a special teams coordinator, too. So that's what makes him great.
Got a game ball yesterday, too, I think.
He got a game ball.
That's pretty stinking cool. Hey, a couple numbers here for you, Mike. One on the really positive side, one maybe on the improvement side. We'll start with the really positive. 3.2 yards per carry allowed in that rush defense. 0 rushing touchdowns allowed now through 3 games. So when you look at what you were doing, stopping the run, what have been some of the critical elements to that success?
Guys are playing physically, and we're playing off one another. And I think that's just an attitude that they have that that's really cool right now. As of this time last year, we were bleeding, and I think we've done a great job this offseason coaching players, personnel acquisitions, and the guys are doing it at a high level, and they're determined to keep it going.
And then on the flip side, and I know some of this gets skewed because of a lot of short yardage runs and end-of-game runs yesterday and everything else. But on the flip side, through 3 games, 3.3 rushing yards a carry. Mm-hmm. Pass blocking incredibly well, just 3 sacks allowed in 3 games, but 3.3 yards per carry. Anything stand out in particular over the 3 games with that number?
Yeah, it's not good enough. It's not even close to being good enough. It's not what we saw throughout camp. It's not what we saw in the preseason. Teams are got to give the other teams credit too. They're designing some good things and playing hard and tackling well, but we got to be better. We need to be better. We need to target it right. We need to hit our targets. We got to run off the ball better. Got to hit our combinations better. We got to run it better, you know. So it's really all 11 that need it. We just step up our game. So nothing that's not fixable, which is great. You know, again, like I said, we're coming out of the win, and it's great that we won in that fashion. But when you watch it, no one on our football team is going to be satisfied on really in all three phases of the things that we fell short on, and we understand where we need to improve. And the run game's right there in the front with our offense.
The passing game obviously was pretty explosive yesterday. Last week, Clint used the phrase accuracy and aggressiveness in talking about the things that Darnold is doing really well so far.
Yep.
Obviously, you seem to concur, but can you go into maybe a little bit more detail of what that means and why that's so important for this offense?
Well, Andrew Janocko uses a phrase called "listen to your feet," and I think that paints a pretty good picture of what we're trying to achieve. So Sam's being really decisive with working through his progressions, not being too greedy, but understanding when there's an opportunity down the field, he's ripping it, and he's throwing great balls and giving our guys a chance to go make plays too. So our guys are playing at a high level. There's a couple great contested catches that we made over the last few games, and that doesn't come to life unless we protect well as well. And I think our offensive line, our tight ends, and our backs right now are blocking well enough to make that thing come to life. And it's something we're still chasing, but our pass protection's been very good.
Kind of curious from a defensive perspective, Coach, because I know it throwing to receivers and know what elite receivers look like from my perspective of throwing it to them. JSN. And what he's done these first 3 weeks. And in particular, the play that jumped out to me yesterday was the deep ball in the second half. It almost looked like, as fast as things are going, it almost looked like he slowed to a walk, to slow down just enough to keep that defender, between him and the ball, and then be able to go secure, as you said, a contested catch right there. From a defensive coach's lens and perspective, talk to me about that play maybe, and also what he's done the first 3 weeks here.
Well, downfield, when they're able to have those subtleties to adjust to those deep balls, especially the ones that are not necessarily underthrown, but just like the shorter one, like the ones where you have to kind of come back to the ball. It's so hard to defend on defense because, you're one. If you don't play it right or you don't play through the man right, you don't find the ball. It's DPI, and you're running full speed too. So I mean, that's a tough situation to be put in. And the great ones find a way, like to your point, Brock, to kind of position themselves so they can go attack the ball, and they're the ones coming down with it. And Jax has done that now. I think 2 games in a row. I'm not sure about the first game if we had a deep one. Yeah, he did. He had the 2-minute one. So 3 games in a row now he's been able to do it. And look, I mean, I'm the JSN Pied Piper here. Like we've been saying it since we walked in the building, and he keeps. I think it's a testament to his attitude. I mean, this guy, since our first conversation, and how he's operated since, to back it up, he's determined to be an elite receiver in this league, and he's well on his way.
Is Julian Love, he generally is a big part of the communication, I would assume, in the secondary. So when you are without him for a game like yesterday, who does a lot of that responsibility fall on?
Next guy in. I mean, Ty.
So is it Ty who steps into that?
Yeah,
is it Kobe who takes a role in that?
Yeah, it's everybody. It's me talking to EJ. It's EJ getting it to everybody else, and then they make it come to life. And Ty Cotta's a great communicator. He's on it. He's on his details. He's sharp. He's great. Kobe is the same way. And then when you have those second level guys that are on their stuff too, it makes the whole thing go.
Have you had a situation in your time as a coordinator where you're kind of playing 2 linebackers as it feels like you're doing a little bit with Tyrese and Drake in season like this?
We did in 2022. We platooned a little bit. Shout out to Josh Bynes. He was our Mike at the time. And then when I was a linebacker coach, 2018, we had a great defense, and C.J. Moses was the Mike backer, and Patrick Owasso, Peanut, was platooning with Kenny Young. So it's not anything that we're not used to.
Mm-hmm. And how is that playing out? How do you see? Is that just iron sharpening iron a little bit between those two?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're at the point in the season too. Like, hey, we're going to be about competition, and if guys are earning playing time and are going to help us play great defense, they're going to play. I mean, you've seen it with Josh. You've seen it with Drake. You're seeing it with Darian Kendrick. You're seeing it up front. Derek Hall's playing at a high level right now. So if we're going to be about competition, we got to back it up with our actions. And so that's just that's a position too where we got two guys that are fighting for playing time.
Any of the guys that weren't able to go in the game, were any of them close to being able to go, maybe with a possibility this week?
I'm gonna make an absolute designation right now. Hold me to it. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We're working through the test this morning. Take it day by day. Fortunately, at some point, we're probably have to test it out before the game. We're not going to be really fast paced until Thursday again. So, kind of we'll see.
Last couple weeks,
still tricky without practicing. Throughout the week.
Yeah,
full speed.
Is it helpful to have a game that was somewhat in hand early, leading into a short week on a Thursday night like that? Like, is that in your mind in the third and fourth quarter of the game?
For this one it was for sure. And you'd say yes. I mean, on offense, it probably worked a little bit better because we didn't play as many plays. But I mean, I think we had like 50-something plays in the first half on defense. Is that right? It was a lot. And so, we're trying to minimize those in the second half.
Stupid special teams kept scoring too quickly.
Golly,
I mean, I put your defense in a bad
spot.
spot.
Yeah, a couple extended drives that we need to be able to put those out.
Talk to Jay about this. Like, hey, could you give us a little longer field on offense? Take some time.
Yeah, I think it was both Mondays last couple weeks. We came out of the game pretty clean. And then Monday was like, oof, we got some guys a little bit more banged up. I know it's early, and maybe you haven't even seen any of them yet, but did you get the sense coming out of that game, leaving the building yesterday, that hopefully there's nothing that flares up new this morning?
Yeah, there's a couple things going on that we're working through after the game, which seems like it's about par for the course now. So
okay.
Yeah,
it's kind of the way it goes. What are a couple of the keys in these short weeks? You had obviously one last year, and in a short week, you've got a process and a plan to it. From your perspective, the biggest keys to make sure, as you said, you're full speed and running and hitting come Thursday night.
Yeah, it's we need to take care of our bodies and our minds. So all the recovery stuff, make sure we get adequate sleep, the travel plan, and then coaches, we got to have a tight, really effective plan that the guys can go execute and have some change-ups in there. But whoever gets their bodies most ready to play, in my opinion, and who executes the best on these Thursday night games, have a really good chance of winning.
Where's the team confidence at right now? If you're in that locker room, how confident does this group feel right now?
I think we're confident in that. Like, when we take the field, we expect to play great football and to win the games that we're in. So they've earned that right to feel that way. I'm sure Arizona feels the same way. But we're in a good spot. And we're also hungry. We're also determined to get better. And it's critical at this point of the year. I mean, we're not even a quarter of the way through the season. And so I'm glad we have that mentality rather than thinking that we're sweet and we've made it.
That was Mike Macdonald joining us yesterday, as he does every Monday following the Sunday games. But wait, we're going to have a little redux. We're going to have a second Mike Macdonald show this week on Friday as Seahawks play a little Thursday night football. So we'll get Mike Macdonald on Friday, not next Monday. So twice in a week, not next week, but that kind of works out as we'll be getting ready for baseball playoffs next week, and by all accounts, Mariners are going to be there. They could clinch it as soon as tonight. Are you going to be there? Have you ever been to a clinching game? It's awesome. We'll tell you a little bit more about it. Plus, it's not the only thing on the line over the course of the next 3 to 6 days. A couple other really big numbers to come on Brock and Salk.
Get inside the huddle.
The handoff inside. He's Charbonnet. He's going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Taking you inside the VMAC every week. Thursdays, noon to 2.
Our guys show up to play.
Player interviews.
It's obviously been paying off. It's going to continue to do that.
Previewing this week's matchup.
We'll say they come out and just run the ball down the Niners' throats.
And everything Seahawks.
If anybody had a doubt, don't.
The Huddle. Every Thursday at noon. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Toyota of Renton is in the playoff chase with game-winning deals on your next ride. Score a 36-month lease on the Tacoma at $279 a month with $39.99 due at signing. The RAV4 leasing at $299 a month with $39.99 due at signing. Drive smarter with the all-hybrid Camry leasing as low as $299 a month or the Corolla from just $219. Whether you're gearing up for the fall or chasing savings, Toyota of Renton is the place to go. Visit toyotaofrenton.com and get in the playoff chase today. Offers valid through September 30th, 2025. Excludes tax, title, license, dealer accessories, and $200 negotiable documentation fee. Model 7540-4432-2559-1852.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service. 98 years providing logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linens, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. Visit suplinen.com.
Jaden Schwartz for Techline Roofing. Summer is the perfect time for a new roof. Take advantage of our easy financing, summer specials, and the best warranty in the business. Have a great summer. See you next hockey season. Trust Techline.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
The 24 monthly bill credits on Experience Beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended, balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Oak Cliff Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
This is Joe Budden. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. So I'm here to make sure you don't miss any of the daily fantasy action this football season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right.
Download the Prize Picks app today and use code PLAYNOW to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. That's code PLAYNOW to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Out here, pets are always by your side, watching the herd, running fence lines, or asleep at your feet. Pets are some of our favorite customers. When you bring them along to Tractor Supply, we'll always have a treat waiting. And with our price match guarantee, you'll always get the best price on their favorite food, toys, treats they love, and pet meds to keep them healthy. Tractor Supply, for pets out here.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Get your freaking auto! From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Have you ever been to a clinching game? No, not clenching. We've gotten a lot of text messages from people today saying, as a Mariner fan, I'm very familiar with clenching. No, clinching with an I. Have you ever been to a clinching game? Because they're awesome, and there's going to be one potentially tonight, potentially tomorrow, potentially Thursday. The next 3 days here against Colorado are filled with opportunities to watch something really cool, right? It's rare to have a series against a team as bad as Colorado this time of the year, where you have wins that are, I don't want to say assured, there's no such thing in sports, but certainly at a higher probability rate than other series. And there's going to be beautiful weather. There's so much on the line, a team. And Brock, maybe this is the point more than anything, because I talked a little bit here earlier about what it's like to watch a team clinch and sort of the community element of that whole thing. But it's hard to think of a team that deserves to feel the love of its fans more than the one that just went out and had a, 5-1 road trip, 6-1 road trip, 5-1 road trip right when they needed it most, and swept the Astros. Like, if there's ever an opportunity to just show them some love that seems to be very meaningful to this group.
That's right.
Of 28 guys, go out there and do it over the course of the next few days.
Yeah, we've not been able to say that about a team in a Mariner team in a while. It's felt like at times, as the lights got brighter, as the moments get bigger, as the crowd. Remember that year? it was eerie. It was like, oh my gosh! Anytime the crowd is over 30,000 or 35,000. We went back and looked at the numbers. And it was like, oh my goodness.
They just couldn't handle it.
No.
It was like, oh my God, they like us.
A little stage fright. I don't like this.
Stage fright.
Not this crew.
Yeah.
Not Victor, not Julio, not Randy Land, not Good Vibes, not Naylor. This crew likes you in the house and has played their best and better than anybody in baseball in the second half of the season in their home building. Let's make sure it's that way, because as things are trending, and if they take care of business on this homestand, guess what? That second round of the playoffs, that division series, is coming through Seattle, right in front of these fans. So, yeah, I think you're right. And to slay the Astros the way they did, as we said yesterday, it wasn't fluky.
No.
It wasn't anything fluky at all about the weekend.
No,
It wasn't bounce here, bounce there. Yeah, it was a better team.
Yeah, I mean, and I said it yesterday. I had put it on Twitter earlier, and I know there's some people that disagree. Good team versus bad team. All right, it's a bit of an exaggeration. The Astros aren't a bad team. That's an exaggeration.
They are a beaten down team.
But they're not a good team. That's not what a good playoff baseball team looks like. Sorry. They're just not that good team. They're a mediocre team.
No, a healthy Alvarez and a healthy Pena, and maybe it's a little more challenging.
If you put Alvarez and Pena and Hader onto that lineup, it's better for sure.
Yep.
It's still not what it was. I mean, you guys, know what the old Astros team looked like. It was really good. You go through that lineup, and it was a fear factor every minute. But you take off Bregman, and you take off Springer, and you take off Tucker, and once you take off 5 guys, it's just not really the same. And then you add in, there's just something kind of wrong with them. Like, whatever the heck is going on with Fromber, and there's just something wrong there. So good team versus bad team. That's what it's supposed to look like. And the Mariners went out there and did exactly what they were supposed to do. They beat the heck out of the bad team because they're a good one. This is a good baseball team. It's maybe a really good baseball team. They got a chance to prove over the course of the next month that they're a great baseball team. Like that's absolutely a possibility for them. They now come home to take on a Rockies team that is as bad as you're ever going to find, and they are as set up as you would want to be set up heading into the postseason. Eric Kratz said it yesterday.
I didn't see the Mariners sweeping the Astros, and that really puts them in a different situation. You talk about being able to get that, those days off. you can set your rotation. Where does that give you? That gives everybody that needs a breather that rest. I mean, I think it set them up for a really good run, especially right out of the gate, being able to have the guys they want to match up against the team that they're going to play against.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's a former catcher, in case you don't remember. Eric Kratz played for like 11 years for 100 teams. I would imagine they call him Kratzy. How do they not?
Yes.
But yeah, he was all around the league for a while. And yeah, look, they're in good position. They got a chance to clinch the postseason tonight. They got a chance to clinch the American League West as soon as tomorrow, and they got a chance to clinch the second round, the number 2 seed and the first round bye, possibly as soon as tomorrow. But they need more help.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's pretty crazy. So those moments are.
I mean, we remember what it felt like when we clinched the drought being over, right? That was simply to get into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember how cool that was. And Cal doing it the way that, Cal did it in dramatic fashion. And you remember the school kids the next day or, in the days after. And you remember how cool that was that the drought is over. Well, this isn't about getting in the playoffs. This is about, getting in the World Series.
Yeah. Yeah, it's taking it to the next level. There's no doubt. It's building on what you did a couple years ago after a little setback, because not everything in the world is linear, and trying to take it to that next level, which is the ALCS and then ultimately the World Series. There are other moments on the line, other milestones on the line here over the course of the next few days that I thought I would point out just because we have a moment. One, Cal obviously needs 2 more home runs to get to 60. I think
you see the Vegas. I know that the odds that Lyle looked at said it was even. I saw odds yesterday now slightly in favor of Cal Raleigh. If he gets to 60 home runs, he's winning the MVP.
I mean, I think he's going to win the MVP either way. And we're going to discuss that in a little bit greater detail at 8 o'clock. But he needs 2 home runs to get to 60. I think he can do that over the course of 6 games. Do you think he could get 6 stolen bases to get to 20? To have a 60-20 season?
No.
That's not possible?
No. Stolen base a game? No.
The weird thing about the Mariners is every once in a while, they just start stealing bases. And you're like, oh, that weekend they stole 7 of them. Like, what the heck? Like, sometimes they just start stealing bases if they pick something up, and the Rockies are so bad, and they could absolutely walk Cal enough times that it's not impossible. I'm not going to say it's going to happen. You're right. I'd bet against it. But a 60-20 season would be really remarkable.
Let me do the math. 14 stolen bases in 156 games.
He would need 6.
But he's going to steal 6 in 6 games?
Probably not going to happen. I get it. Could he get 1 to get to 15?
Maybe, yes.
60-15? That'd still be pretty impressive. Julio needs 2 stolen bases to get to 30-30. Does he get there?
That is a distinct possibility, yes. Yes, especially if and when they take care of business, then you could maybe, start to push that envelope just a little bit more to have something of that significance. Yeah, I think there's a great opportunity for that.
Randy Arozarena also needs 2 stolen bases to get to 30. He needs 3 home runs for 30-30. That once felt pretty likely and no longer feels as likely, but not impossible, but seems unlikely.
He's been pressing for that a little bit?
I don't know. I mean, I just think Randy's streaky.
It's just impossible to gauge with him.
Right. I mean, maybe that's true. I'm not ruling out that possibility, Brock, but am I going to tell you that's what I think is happening?
Would he be their best poker player on the team, or would he be the best poker player on the team?
He'd be pretty tough to figure out, man. He's pretty tough dude to read. So I don't know, but Randy needs 3 home runs and 2 stolen bases to get to 30-30. And then Gino Suarez, I know it's not all in one league, but he needs 3 home runs to get to 50. I know we're talking about Cal and 60, and it's a huge number, but 50 is still magic, right? 50 is still a magic number in baseball, and if you have an opportunity to get to 50, yeah, that's pretty awesome. I don't know whether he can hit 3 home runs, but again, Gino's capable of doing that in one day, right? I mean, he's got that kind of pop, and again, with absolutely horrendous pitching heading their way, anything is possible. So if you got an opportunity, it is a good time to get out to the ballpark, Brock. The magic number is 2 to get into the playoffs. The magic number is 3 number there, and 4, of course, Brock, to get that first round bye. And I'm going to give you some numbers. I gave these to Lyle earlier. Brock, I said these numbers to Lyle, and he's still dumbfounded. Almost an hour later, Lyle can barely talk because of the numbers that I gave him at 6:15. I'm going to give them to you next, and you, too, shall be shocked. It's coming up in Need to Know. And then I should at least mention. Kind of some guests today. We do have Jeff Passan at 8:30. We do have Daniel Jeremiah at 9:30. And at 9:15, the man, the myth, the legend, the greatest maybe ever to do his job, Al freaking Michaels is going to be on the show at 9:15. If you're not listening for the next 3 hours, I don't even know what to tell you. It's Brock and Salk. We'll be right back on Seattle Sports.
The Mike Macdonald Show, the morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
Is that yesterday about as complete a team win as you can get?
I'd say it's probably the most complete win we've had in the last year or so. Yeah, it was a great win. It's also week 3, and when you watch the tape, I'm not saying this because you're doing the whole head coach doing the opposite thing, but there's plenty of stuff that we get it cleaned up and we got to do it in a hurry.
Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app and seattlesports.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC-branded pain relievers. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Want to take your team to new heights, literally? At Bellevue Adventures, your crew will bond over zip lines, aerial challenges, and climbing walls that build trust, courage, and connection. Perfect for team-building retreats, leadership workshops, or just a break from the boardroom. Book your group adventure now at bellevue-adventures.com. Bellevue Adventures. Elevate your team. Bellevue-adventures.com.
Hey man, gaining weight, dragging throughout the day, losing your drive? It could be your testosterone. The team at Revive Men's Health Washington gets men back on track with the energy and drive they've been missing. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations, and witness to hundreds of success stories.
I've seen guys come in worn out, discouraged, and just not themselves. A few months into treatment, they're standing taller, speaking with more confidence. It's like watching someone come back to life, like a light switch gets turned back on. The spouse says, thank you, I really have my partner back, better than before. That's the moment it all clicks for me, and that's why I do what I do.
Since 2011, Revive Men's Health has helped more than 120,000 men regain their energy and drive. Start your story today with an in-clinic visit or a secure video appointment. Call 206-529-1111 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 206-529-1111 or schedule anytime at revivemenshealth.com.
It's the Mariners' push to the playoffs.
Blasted right field. Goodbye, Josh Naylor.
And it's only on Seattle Sports.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bailalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
2026 Mariners season ticket memberships are on sale now. Catch Cal, Julio, and the crew at T-Mobile Park with year-round savings, no ticket fees, and more. You've got two great options. Reserved memberships let you lock in the best locations in the ballpark, whether you want to catch 20 games or the whole season. Or go with a flex membership and choose your seats, games, and number of tickets as you go.
There it goes! Storybook season by Cal Raleigh.
Come on board today at mariners.com/26.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Final homestand of the season starts tonight. T-Mobile Park, so much on the line. They can clinch a postseason spot, Brock, as early as tonight with a win, and they need a Yankee win over the White Sox, oddly. They can also clinch the AL West as early as tomorrow. They'd need a combination of wins and Astros losses, adding up to 3. And as for the number 2 seed, that's also tomorrow, potentially. That would be a combination of Mariners wins and Tigers losses, adding up to 4. Regardless of how you look at it as they head towards the playoffs, they look really good. John Morosi said so to Wyman and Bob yesterday.
This is, honestly, in the rotation, about as healthy as they've been all season long. And the bullpen has really come into form. Munoz has been really good of late. This is a really good Seattle team that looks like a division winner. They're playing like it. And their closest competition, their flaws are showing up in the worst possible time. So just when you look at these two teams and the health and the depth of Seattle's lineup, they should win the division. They probably will, and they should. The Seattle Mariners right now are the best team, not just with the best record. They are the best team in the American League West, and there are plenty of people who think they might be the best team in the entire league.
Yeah, that's what happens. I mean, you want to change narratives, you want to change opinions, and go out there and take care of business. Go have a homestand like they had, where you win 7, or go out on the road and take care of 5 of 6, and again, do it with a national audience Sunday night. It was interesting, Salk, listening to Carl Ravitch with us yesterday, and I didn't think about it, A, when I reached out to him, and B, when he came on, because I've been in that position as a broadcaster. I've been in that situation the night before or the week before where you're like, oh, please, just if they could just please win and lose, so everything is on the line, so the stakes are the very highest, so the best players are playing, and, it didn't turn out that way. Randy makes an unbelievable catch. Everything was not on the line. You hit a grand slam in the second inning, 7-0. Sorry, you took the pin to the balloon. But you controlled that. You went out there and did it. You went out there and took care of business, and now everything is in your hands.
Well, you get an opportunity to do it against the Rockies, Brock. And
Can you name 5 Colorado Rockies?
No, but I am going to tell you about the guy who's going to start tonight.
I saw an ERA near 10.
McCade Brown, Brock.
Yes.
0-4, 9.17 ERA.
Okay.
And a whip of? 2.09.
Oh, boy.
That's McCade Brown going tonight. The Rockies.
Yeah, you pitch at 5,000 feet, Salk, and see what you like.
Well, their biggest problem's actually when they get to normal, normal elevation. They're 18-57 on the road.
Yeah.
18-57 when they're on the road. They've got a negative 404 run differential this year, and they are going to allow more than 1,000 runs on the season. That's who rolls into town tonight.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, short week for the Seahawks, Brock. And it seemed like, I know they didn't actually practice yesterday, but they gave an estimate on what would have happened. Mostly good news, I think, right? So a bunch of guys would have been limited. Leonard Williams, Boye Mafe, Elijah Arroyo, Robbie Oots. None of those jumped out to me as being particularly concerning. Charbonnet would have been a full participant, which is great. And then Spoon, Love, and Eamon Wari all would have been partial participants, which at least opens the door to some or all of those guys playing Thursday night.
Yeah, and I'm sure that was some of the decision-making process over the weekend is, how close could you be? Would you have a setback? All of those things that you've got to project kind of from a health standpoint. And then ultimately, as that game did unfold, and Mike Macdonald said it to us there in the second half especially, you gave yourself an opportunity to not have to expend all the energy that your peer did on a short week where you have to travel, where the odds, if you just look at these Thursday games, are against you when you do have to travel. And the fact that you're going to travel with a lot more healthy bodies to play and maybe even get guys back who've missed the last couple weeks, nothing but good news in that front.
That's for sure. We talked to Mike Macdonald yesterday. We'll do it again on Friday. I just kind of liked his comments on JSN, who's had a phenomenal start to this season. And it turns out he's been a believer for a while.
I'm the JSN Pied Piper here. Like we've been saying it since we walked in the building. And he keeps, I think it's a testament to his attitude. I mean, this guy, since our first conversation, and how he's operated since, to back it up, he's determined to be an elite receiver in this league, and he's well on his way.
Yeah, going back and looking at some of those catches, Salky, I mean, he really is starting to reinforce, kind of like Amon-Ra St. Brown is in Detroit, that I'm a number one receiver. Stop categorizing me because I'm a smaller receiver. Stop putting me in that boat that I'm just a slot guy or a space guy. He's running by people. I mean, that deep post that he caught in the second half, he is running by that coverage. And then he is just, I can't tell you how hard that is. How hard it is to track the ball the way he does and to put his body with his timing and the position and the feel that it takes to do that.
There's a lot of Tyler Lockett in there, don't you think? He had some of those same qualities of being able to play inside, outside, and don't categorize me. I'm not saying they're the same, but there seems to be some similarity there.
I think that's true.
Big win for Detroit last night. They own the line of scrimmage. They beat the Ravens by a touchdown.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, 6 games to go in this MVP race as well. Cal, Judge, Brock. I'm going to play you some sound. There's nothing better than listening to the Yankee state media twist itself into a pretzel trying to justify Aaron Judge. But this is a new one. This is Evan Roberts from WFAN in New York.
And by the way, also look at their teams. Julio Rodriguez is a hell of a player.
Right.
Randy Arozarena is a hell of a player. Even though Eugenio Suarez hasn't done much since getting there, they got talent on this team. Let's not act like the Mariners are the sisters of the poor. Aaron Judge carries the New York Yankees. We all know it. We all talk about it. What are the Yankees without Aaron Judge? What are the Yankees without Aaron Judge? What, we forgot now? Because Cal Raleigh's got a cool nickname because his ass is big? I mean, this is absurd.
I just want to make sure you understand the argument out of New York. Cal Raleigh's not the MVP because he has too much talent around him. Aaron Judge is the MVP because the Yankees don't have enough talent around him. You know what the crazy thing about that is? If it was just looking at September, he'd be right. If you're going to look at the whole year and what Cal did for the first 4 months to get the Mariners into position to have a lot of that talent around him, yeah, the argument doesn't hold a lot of water. That's everything you need to know.
Was that I thought for a second it was Lyle screaming at me.
No, that's Evan Roberts. I got more sound from him to play later. He's with Tiki Barber. There's some hilarious. We'll do that at 8:00. How's that? We'll do it at 8. We'll spend some.
My boy, our friend of the show, Lukey Arkins.
Yeah.
DM'd me last night. Do you realize, Salky, what happened in 1955?
I guess
couple years before you were born in 1955.
That was the year Bill Haley and his Comets released Rock Around the Clock, and Rock and Roll was born.
No, that was the year Yogi Berra outperformed. Well, didn't outperform on the field. In fact, had a 120 OPS plus to Mickey Mantle's 180 OPS plus.
But he won the MVP that year, right?
He sure won the MVP.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I happened to look at that the other day. We were looking at Mickey Mantle numbers. Yeah,
with the Delta, by the way, that wasn't even close to this one. I mean, it was a massive difference between the two. But in 55, you know what they understood? At least those baseball writers then, the value that catcher brings.
Also, they didn't exactly have access to a tremendous amount of data at that point.
They didn't have WRC Plus, no PS Plus?
I don't think all of that was necessarily available to the writers that year. Okay, the Mariners do now have a lot of talent, and they are a team that is significantly better than anyone thought they would be when this season began. Why? I got 4 names for you next on Brock and Salk.
Move aside, Junior.
Swung on. That is cranked. Right field.
Make way for Cal.
It is on its way. It is history. Number 57.
Congratulations, Cal Raleigh.
The most home runs for a Seattle Mariner in a single season.
As Cal rewrites the history books and builds his case for MVP, this is where you hear it all. The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
All right, let's talk through what's going to go on here over the next couple of weeks, because right now, weather's still nice and sunny, very warm, but you know what's coming. You know the cold weather, and you know that if your house doesn't have enough insulation, all of the money you were spending to try to cool it down in the summer is going to turn into more money you spend trying to heat it up once you get into the winter. Well, that doesn't have to be the case. Call Crawl Pros, have them come out and do the free corner-to-corner inspection just like they did at my house, and let them check out the insulation, because if it's failing or if you don't have enough or if you don't have any, well, they can fix that problem for you. And even better, if you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to get everything properly insulated. Yeah, 95% of the cost. That's incredible. You got to act now, though. Many of these rebates are ending at the end of the year, including federal incentives. So let Crawl Pros get your home properly insulated before the cooler fall weather really shows up. If you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation, anything else related to your crawl space or attic, make sure you call Crawl Pros and get a free corner-to-corner inspection. Schedule it now at crawlpros.com.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at amazonbusiness.com.
Let's go! You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
At O'Neill Plumbing, we don't just promise to get the job done, we back it up. No travel charge, no show-up fee, no overinflated pricing, and no out-of-town owners. Just clean, fast, and professional each and every day. O'Neill Plumbing.
I'm attorney Rob Iddens, proud Marine Corps veteran and owner of Warrior Injury Law. We help all types of injury victims, like Bobby, who was hurt riding the bus.
The bus made a left turn, and the scooter that I was on overturned. Ended up having surgery on my back. So I knocked on the door of Warrior Injury Law, and I thought if anyone could help me with my situation, they could, and they did. They everyday people who work for everyday people. I would recommend this company over all the rest.
If you've been injured, call us at 253-WARRIOR. Warrior Injury Law. Battle tested.
At Cressy Door, we have the perfect garage door for you. Come visit our brand new garage door and fireplace showroom and let our experts help you find the perfect garage door. Cressy Door.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game Sunday, October 5th. Head to the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the Seattle Sports app, the better your odds. Do it every day, September 23rd through September 29th. Details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. From the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Get rid of stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin with ProSculpt, the simple one-day permanent fat reduction and skin tightening treatment. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com.
Do you need a new roof? Then visit 3treeroofing.com to get $500 off your roofing project by scheduling a free estimate. 3Tree Roofing's certified team builds a custom plan for your home using top-tier materials with industry-leading warranties. All of their install crews are factory certified to ensure that your roof can handle any weather Seattle can throw our way. Don't wait until leaks turn into expensive damage this rainy season. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate today and secure your $500 discount. 3Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I love the argument. I love that the Yankees fans and media are complaining that the Mariners just have too much talent, and it makes it so unfair for Cal Raleigh versus Aaron Judge. Fairly hilarious, but not necessarily completely untrue, at least the way things stand today. Brock, I got to thinking about this whole thing last night because the Mariners are going to clinch all sorts of stuff this week, right? I believe it's, at this point, very likely, beyond likely, probable, almost in stone that they're going to be in the postseason. They're very likely going to win the AL West as a result of what they did over the weekend in Houston. And I think the 2 seed is very much within their grasp and probably the most likely scenario as well. They're probably going to head into the postseason in the number 2 spot behind Toronto, meaning they don't have to play the first round, and then they will host the division round with home field advantage. Remarkable. Really, really remarkable that that's all going to happen, and in all likelihood it is. So how do you get from where we were heading into spring training or heading into the season in the end of March to where we are now? Because we all looked at this team and we all made predictions, and they were anywhere from 83 to 87 wins, right? I think we were all sort of in the just above 500 camp, if I remember right. And then we went down to spring training and we were around it. We got caught up in the hype a little bit and being around the guys. And you start getting some of the optimism and, what if this happens? And look at this guy. And I forgot about that. And then I think we kind of all, I remember anyway, I think saying 87 as my new number kind of heading into the season after being around them. And I think that was up 3 or 4 wins from what I was thinking about ahead of time. They obviously are going to blow past that. They're at 87 right now. The odds are they get to 90 or maybe 91, 92, just based on the type of baseball they've been playing. So how did this team end up winning close to 10 games more than we originally thought they would? It's remarkable, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know the answer. I mean, honestly, you could spend forever. You spend all day, every day, kind of going through every single player, every manager, every coach, every executive, everyone, every scout who had some role in this, because it's a team thing. Everybody has to do it together. But as I wrote about it last night, SeattleSports.com, 4 guys to me jump out as being the most surprising in terms of the way they exceeded expectations.
You know what's nice about this exercise?
Yeah.
This isn't a blame pie.
No, it's the opposite.
It's a credit pie.
Isn't that fun?
It's the difference between a pumpkin pie and the best apple pie you've ever had.
Right. Pumpkin pie, kind of blame. Don't like it. Kind of gross. Not a big pumpkin pie fan.
No.
Kind of nasty.
Yep.
That's a trash take.
No, it's not. Pumpkin pie is drastically overrated.
Maura, you're a pumpkin pie gal?
Yeah, Thanksgiving, a little whipped cream.
It's fine. It's overrated.
Lyle?
There's so many other ways to get pumpkin flavor. Like, it's too much.
Am I the only one, Lyle?
No, I like pumpkin pie. It's not number one on my list, but I like it.
But it's
Yeah, it's
nowhere
not like my
near
favorite
like
thing ever, but
apple pie, fruit pies, banana cream pie,
But there's
Boston
a
cream
time
pie.
for it. Thanksgiving is
Strawberry,
pumpkin
rhubarb
pie.
pie, cherry pie.
Kind of overrated. It's kind of like
pecan pie.
kind of like a blame pie.
Yes.
On the other hand, this is the
credit
perfect pie. The credit pie, pretty good. So these are four guys, Brock, who completely surprised and exceeded expectations in some way. You know who number one is on this list? It shouldn't be a huge surprise. It's the guy who doubled the Zips projections for what he would do this year, Cal Raleigh. Cal Raleigh is going to be number one on this list. I don't know how much time we'll spend on it here because we'll go in somewhat greater detail with Cal coming up at 8 o'clock. But again, just going back and looking at those Zips projections, which are kind of the best out there, they projected Cal to hit 28 home runs and drive in 80 runs. 28 and 80.
I mean, not intriguing. At that point, let's be fair. No, at that point.
It's what he's done every year, right?
At 20 and 80, not all that
25
intriguing.
to 35 home runs, 3 true outcome hitter, driving some runs, 28 and 80. Instead, he's at 58 and 121. Leading the league, leading baseball in both categories. So that's pretty amazing. By the way, for the Yankees fans getting all uppity about, oh, Cal, all he does is hit home runs. He's driven in 121, which leads the league as well.
I don't know if it leads the league. American League, right? Because I think Schwarber's ahead of
No, I think it leads the American League.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
But as you know, not just the numbers, it's the catching, it's the handling of the pitching. It's all the things
It's
Cal
winning
does.
the home run derby.
It's also been, I think, giving the team confidence. We'll dig into Cal in greater detail in about 25 minutes.
Okay.
But let me give you the other three. And again, I don't know that any of these are hugely shocking, but they just all jumped out to me as guys where if they hadn't done what they'd done this year, the Mariners might not be in this position.
I mean, at this point, does Cal get a quarter of the cherry pie?
I might honestly give him at least a third and have these other three guys divide up the other 2/3.
Okay.
Cal deserves a lot of the credit here. Totally, I don't want to undersell that.
Okay.
Jorge Polanco, to me, is going to be number 2 on this list. What were your legitimate expectations for the newly re-signed third
I thought he'd
baseman,
be a Gold Glove third baseman.
Jorge
I mean,
Polanco?
I thought watching him in spring training, Salk, the way we watched him down there, I fired the ball across the infield. I thought he was going to be a Gold Glove third baseman.
I know you did. Zips projected him to be the 15th most valuable position player on this roster. Zips projected him this year behind Samad Taylor and Ryan Bliss. Just two guys who've done
never
nothing.
having that cyborg Zimborski on the show.
He's awesome.
Again.
No, I mean, he's got a tremendous system.
No, we're never having him again.
Zips had him projected just ahead of Cade Marlowe.
Wow.
A guy who did not play one game for the Mariners this year. Not one. Jorge Polanco has been unbelievable. He's raised his OPS 160 points from where it was a year ago. He has 30 doubles. He's tied for second on the team just behind Julio. He's got 74 runs driven in, third on the team. This team is not where they're at without Jorge Polanco, and thankfully, he's not playing third base. He solidified the DH spot. He gives them flexibility to play second if and when needed. Switch hitter. They kept him healthy. A lot of people kind of contribute to the Jorge Polanco thing, but after what he did last year, to do this year is, I mean, surprising isn't even the word. I mean, like,
how many games has he DH this year? Do you know? Like,
not
has he had
off the top of my head, but I could find out.
I'm just kind of curious if he's had enough to kind of qualify for any of
Like
of those
Silver
accolades that
Slugger
come
and
with it.
DH?
Yeah, whatever it is.
I was
Go ahead,
just
Lon.
thinking about this the other day. Who else in the American League would be competing with Jorge Polanco for a Silver Slugger? The list is not grand.
And when you compare, by the way,
At
how
DH
many years?
also? Could Cal win the Silver Slugger, both catcher and DH?
How many years have we talked about that DH really since Nelson Cruz.
Yep.
How hard it is to find that guy
That's
to
in
fill
my column,
that role.
Brock. Funny you should bring that up. That's in the column at seattlesports.com. Maybe you took a little peek this morning before coming on. So anyway, that's number 2 is going to be Jorge Polanco, obviously to go with Cal Raleigh. Number 3. I honestly, of all of them, this one's the most surprising to me, is Dominic Canzone. The numbers compared to what I thought Dominic Canzone was are fairly staggering. Do you realize that Canzone is the second highest OPS on the team? 827.
Yeah, that 5-for-5 game with 3 bombs.
That helped.
That really,
There's
really
no
helped.
doubt.
But he did it.
But it's higher than Julio, higher than Polanco, higher than a Rosarena, higher than Josh Naylor. Dominic Canzone's got a higher OPS this year than any of them. Now, 250 plate appearances, not a whole season. But it's more than enough to, I think, say it was an impact. I mean, like, that's a lot of plate appearances over the course of the year.
He's kind of in 25 been what Luke Raley was in 24.
That's right. That's a good comp.
Yep.
But it was so necessary given that Victor Robles was supposed to have that job in right field, and instead he ends up missing, 5 months almost of the season? And without him, you're looking at Dylan Moore, Leody Taveras, Miles Mastroboni. Like, the right field situation was a mess. So here's one other sort of sneaky important reason I'm going to put Canzone on here. Canzone's emergence as a legitimate right field option allowed them to go get Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez and not need to go get a right fielder at the deadline. If they had not had Canzone, they probably would have needed to go get a right fielder.
Yeah.
He solidified it. I'm not saying he was the perfect right fielder, but he was as good as anybody they could have gotten on the market to go play right field. And because they didn't need to go do that, they could go get Gino and Naylor, which was enormously important to the chemistry, to the team. It's it's huge. And you can't do that without Canzone.
This pie that we're talking about this morning, it sure smells. I don't have a great sense of smell. Some would say I have no sense of smell, actually, which has been advantageous at times in my life. But there have been occasions where certain foods get cooked, maybe around Thanksgiving, and you do get a whiff of things, and you're like, oh my gosh. And when I'm getting a smell of your credit pie, it's really built on the biggest surprises of this year.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, it's literally about exceeding expectations.
Yes.
How did they exceed expectations? I mean, Julio gets a ton of credit for what the team has done. Has he exceeded expectations?
Is Wu going to be the fourth on this list?
He absolutely is, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to be the fourth name on this list.
He deserves a piece of pie.
Lots of people deserve credit pie. If you're just giving him credit for being a good team, lots of people deserve that.
Yes.
But this is like, how did you go from winning 83 wins to winning 92 or whatever it's going to end up being? That, to me, is about guys being so much better than we thought.
Yep.
And so those first 3, shocking. Yeah, the fourth is absolutely Brian Wu. How could it not be?
Well, there's one other guy, and Lyle mentioned his name earlier. The only other guy, pitcher, I think that can be in this conversation. Spire's been unbelievable.
Tremendous
leads his team
turnaround.
in WHIP. Yeah, he leads his team in appearances with 73. He had a shoulder last year that he did. We've seen this with relievers. Where is that guy?
That's
He's no
sort
longer
of
with
the one
Mariners.
reason I wasn't going to put him on the list. It's not that you couldn't add him to this. If also, at some point you got to end the column. As I said at the beginning, you could name everybody. Honestly, there's everyone has contributed. Spire as a reliever, there's such an up and down element to that position that it was hard for me to say, that's the reason. Because if it wasn't him, it would have been someone else. He and Bizzardo absolutely have been incredibly important to this.
You realize that Bizzardo's got a higher WAR than Spire?
It's unbelievable.
He's got a 1.9 WAR. I think when it comes to the pitchers, it's only Mooney and Wu.
Well, Brian Wu is going to be number 4 on this list because, let's face it, the other 4 starters didn't live up to billing. In some way, shape, or form, whether through injury or not performing, they all underperformed in some way this year, and he didn't. He overperformed. He was the reason this starting rotation was able to kind of make its way through the year. And
186 innings pitched.
Yeah, so I got some numbers on the 186 innings, Brock. I'm glad you bring those up. Do you realize not only did they lead the team, the only player on the team within 60 innings of him is Luis Castillo, and he's 20 innings back. 60. I mean, what he did, and then we mentioned that Hembo stats that he had a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And this was as of September 11th, that the bullpen, their ERA drops to 1.82 the games after his starts because he's gotten so deep into all these games. So, Brian Wu, an incredibly stable force, all-star for the first time, and in all likelihood, assuming he's healthy here, and we'll find out maybe a little bit more from Justin Hollander today, first game of the series in the homestand. Like, he's given them an ace in a year where the other four kind of took a step back in some way. Now, I believe they're all sort of coming back, and it's not like a long-term conversation about where those four pitchers are at. Mm-hmm. And look, you can add Emerson Hancock in here. You can add Logan Evans in here. All those guys, Ben Williamson was important, Cole Young. All of those guys gave them something to help them along the way. This is not about, like, not mentioning guys.
They all get some starburst.
But Cal Raleigh, but Jorge Polanco, but Dominic Canzone, but Brian Wu, all four of those guys, what they've done this year, to me, you're just not here without that, unfortunately. You're probably in the spot that we've been talking about. All four of those guys getting better or being better than anybody really thought they could be.
Yep, I agree with you. By the way, pumpkin pie, like candy corn, acquired taste.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than candy corn. That's disgusting.
With you on that one.
I mean, candy corn's just nasty, right? I mean, that's just really disgusting.
But you take a candy corn with a melatonin Salk, and you have dreams for days.
Yeah, I know you've mentioned that. Yes. That's still just gross. I'm not going to do that. Pumpkin pie's not gross. It's just overrated. That's just me. Let's spend it. We'll come back. We're going to spend a lot more time on Cal today, and then the guests start rolling in at 8:30 with Passan, and then Al Michaels at 9:15. I'm so excited, and Daniel Jeremiah at 9:30 to cap it off. Right now, a little Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88, powered by Xfinity.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Eward tackles 3 football questions as only he can.
Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Yeah, if you want a little more detail on all that, go back and you can read it, seattlesports.com. Wow, somebody said, I hate to say this, but Salk's actually right about something. It doesn't happen often, but it happened today. Gasp. It'll happen next. Happens more than you think, jerks. How dare you? Brock, you didn't get to it in takeaways yesterday, but I know you'd emailed it, and I want to make sure we ask about it. You and Pro Football Focus, once again, seeing the same thing.
Yeah, yesterday was so much good to get to. The Mariners with the Seahawks, just an incredible weekend for our sports teams in town. And some of the bigger takeaways, right? We nailed, and Mora's were probably 2 of the best. Loved her takeaways yesterday. And I didn't get to what was 4th or 5th on my list, which was kind of the same conversation we just had. Some guys that deserve some real credit. Darion Kendrick was the highest graded PFF player defensively for the Seahawks at 90.3. He was awesome. He is really smooth. Now, he doesn't catch everything thrown his way. He should have 4 interceptions this year. He still leads the league with 2 interceptions, and it's because he's put himself in the right spot time after time after time. I didn't know if Mike Morris is my Dom Canzone. I didn't know if Mike Morris.
That's a good comp.
Yes, I didn't know if he was a NFL player. I know he's a good player. I know, there's some spurts and some things that he could do, but can you be like a consistent professional player? Mike Morris had a grade of 90.2. He was awesome. He wasn't just on special teams. He's been in the past, and he wasn't just a body holding down a spot. He was a difference maker. He was setting an edge. He made some plays at and behind the line of scrimmage. Like, Mike Morris has given me some Dominic Canzone vibes. And then lastly, Ty Okada. Ty Okada went to Montana State.
You were not a big Ty Okada fan after week 1.
Not
you
a
big
Ty Okada,
Mr. Okada.
Wow, not a big Ty guy in the preseason. Like, he's preseason Billy. Like, he's out there. He knows his stuff. He plays really fast. He plays really hard. He gives you everything. He sounds like a coach. He walks like a coach. He talks like a coach. He's going to one day be a coach. But I don't know at the NFL level against the big boys if that's a guy that I want out there each and every week. But in a substitution role, having to play with Julian Love's injury, yeah, PFF liked him as well. Not as much as those other 2, a 79 grade, but definitely functional. And then lastly, Saubert, the guy that you've liked all the way along. Yeah.
Love that guy.
He had a 79 grade, 4th highest on offense as well. So just some guys that when we talk about 1 through 70, we talk about them in this way. Mike Macdonald said we don't. Right? They're all Seahawks to us. We don't rank them 1 through 70 on the roster. But the guys that are the backups that were thrust into roles more than did their job, and some in a big-time way on Sunday.
All right, question number 2. How would you ask that, by the way? Is there a better way that I could have asked Mike Macdonald about those guys? Because I knew there was like, how do you ask him about the guys that we all know are on the edges of the roster, but a coach will never admit that?
Right.
Like, yeah, I know you don't rank them. But
Do you
like
rank your kids?
No, but like also you're
never.
Some of those guys are like they don't start. They're not gonna like. How do you? Well, whatever. Question number 2, Brock. Byron Murphy. What have you seen through 3 weeks?
First. If you ain't first, you last. Byron Murphy been first. Amongst D linemen, Salk, first in sacks, first in pressures, first in hurries, first in run stops, first in solo tackles. First. That was all credit to at Seahawks today. I think you gave them some love last week on Twitter, right? So I went about following him as well, or her, whoever puts that together. Byron Murphy is first amongst all interior defensive linemen with 3 sacks, with 12 pressures, with 8 hurries, with 9 solo tackles. Who is this guy? And if this guy shows up, right, through 3 games, if he shows up through the next 14 games, along with Big Cat, not only is Brian Baldinger going to lose his absolute mind, he's going to continue to spend more time on the Seahawks with Zabel and with Leonard and now with Murphy doing what he's doing. He's living up to these first 3 weeks. He's living up to where you took him in the draft. He's living up to the hype and the expectations that were on his broad shoulders coming out of Texas as being the best defensive player in this draft. You wanted the guy the previous year. I get it. You know, you wanted that interior D lineman that Rex games the previous year that had, you know, some serious red flags. There were none of those to Byron Murphy. Now, he's not quite as big as that guy, Carter, out in Philadelphia. But he plays like this, you're not going to be talking about Carter. You're just not. If he plays at this level, paired with Leonard the rest of this season.
All right, question number 3. Speaking of comparing and contrasting, Brock, we're 3 games in to the big change at quarterback.
Yeah.
Compare and contrast what you've seen from Darnold and what we've seen from Geno Smith in the first 3 games, 2025.
Well, Geno's a yard hound. Number 1 in the league in yards passing, over 800 yards passing. Salk, he's a volume guy. Going to get his yards. He's also 24th when it comes to PFF with a 69.8 PFF QB grade. 24th. Sam Darnold, want to guess where he is?
7th.
Today's just a day of firsts. Let's go. Today's a day of firsts. Byron Murphy first. Derrick Kendrick first.
You're telling me that
Sam Darnold first.
He's been the number 1 rated PFF graded quarterback?
That would be 91.9 grades all for a guy
crazy.
that's completing over 70% of his passes, for a guy that's throwing the ball down the field, for a guy whose pass efficiency is number 8 in the league as well. Yeah, Sam Darnold is. Oh, and by the way, guess how many times Geno's been sacked in 3 games?
A lot.
13.
Yeah.
Sam's been sacked.
Thrice.
3 times.
Yeah. Pretty impressive.
Sacks make a difference, man.
They do. All right, good stuff. That is today's Blue 88. Of course, we do that every morning at 7:45.
Lamar sacked last night.
Ooh, a bunch.
7.
Yeah, that's a lot of sacks.
7 sacks.
425 says, I think Salk just hates fall. Last week he was hating on soup, now pumpkin pie and candy corn. All right, couple of things. I wasn't hating on soup, just that it was too early in the year for it.
Well,
I wasn't
there's also
ready
some
for fall yet.
Cauliflower.
Yeah, it was not a good sounding.
Like, what do we do?
That soup didn't sound good. It was a potato cauliflower soup, which I didn't want that night. So that I'm not hating on soup. As for whether or not I'm hating on fall, yeah, I am. Yeah, I don't like fall. You know what I like? Summer. I like nice weather. Now, the fall here in Seattle, thankfully, does not necessarily indicate the absolute misery. Like, we have really great September. But October, November, the rain, it's awful. I hate fall. It means the end of summer. And it means that winter's close, and the only thing worse than fall is winter. Let's be clear. There's 1 good season and 3 crappy ones. Summer's unbelievable. The other 3 seasons stink. There's 3 good months, maybe 4 of the year. The other 8 months are horrendous. Yeah, I'm hating on fall, and I'm hating on winter, and I'm hating on spring here, because spring barely exists anymore. Yeah, there's 1 good season.
We actually had a really nice spring this year.
Yes, that was nice. Spring is good because it means summer's almost here. It's all about your proximity to summer. And fall is walking away from summer towards winter. What's to like about that?
It's walking into darkness.
It's just misery.
Summer is walking into light. 10:30 at night,
Right.
it's still light.
Follow you into
Fall,
darkness.
you start to walk into 4 o'clock. It's dark.
Do I hate fall? Yeah. Just like I hate winter, just like I hate spring. There's one good season. It's summer, and it's almost over.
It's been a while since we talked magic number around here. You know, this team does that or whoever beats the other whoever, and yeah, it's a lot. So here's a nerd who can help.
The Mariners win 3 games, Mariners win 1, the Astros lose 2, or a combination of the Tigers, the Red Sox.
Hey, thanks, Lefko. Steamrolling toward the postseason tonight. Mariners and Rockies at T-Mobile. First pitch 6:40. Wyman and Bob are there live beginning at 2 on the home of your first place Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling September 29th. Free Good To Go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Open enrollment for Medicare is coming up. Are you ready? Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man here. Get organized early with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit from the Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program. Order your free copy today at insurance.wa.gov.
After 35 years in the window industry, I know choosing the right team for your window or door project is a big decision. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Treating your home with care while offering top quality products is important to me. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards, reduce noise by up to 50%, and feature low maintenance, clean glass technology. Combined with our leading leak armor installation and lifetime warranty, you get protection for life. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Matt Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Some polarizing response to the weather and seasonal take that I just gave, not surprisingly. Some smart people texting in to say I totally agree, and then some confused folks out there saying, you're crazy, you don't like the weather, move. If you're not going to move, then shut up. Of course, you spelled then wrong, but whatever. We'll talk through the spelling of then versus than if you need to. E's and A's. They can be confusing. 509. Why am I not surprised? Okay, let's talk Cal, Brock, because I want to play you some of this garbage from New York. I had a whole thing I was going to do here all about the Seahawks kind of looking at their schedule, but that's not going anywhere. We can do some of that tomorrow. I thought I wanted to play you some of the sound because the people in New York are freaking out. It's finally dawning on them that Cal might actually win this thing, and their precious Aaron Judge is not going to be as valuable this year as maybe they thought. So Evan Roberts here and Tiki Barber, that's WFAN in New York, kind of the dean of sports radio stations in the country. Evan's getting annoyed that there are people, even on their station, gasp, that think Cal should win this thing.
There is nothing personal between me and Cal Raleigh. He's just not the MVP. And I understand. Oh, he's a switch hitter. He's hit a lot of home runs. He's got a fat ass. Like, all of that's true and it's cool, but he's not the MVP. And I'm getting annoyed by this. I'm annoyed by the discourse because, quite frankly, it's not even close, Tiki.
No, it's not. I mean, especially when you go look at the bold. The bold is what you get when you go to Baseball Reference. There's a couple of bold with Cal Raleigh because he's hit 56 home runs and has 118 RBIs. But everything else is Aaron Judge.
So, am I missing something?
Put your glasses on, Tiki. It's 58.
Well, this was from a few days ago, obviously. But am I missing something? Is that the only argument you've heard for Cal Raleigh? Have you heard anyone make the argument like, well, he hits a lot of home runs and he's got a big butt? I haven't heard that from anybody. That's not the argument I've heard. I know we're not in New York in the center of the universe, but like, that's not the only argument I've heard. I've heard he's a catcher. I've heard he handles the pitching staff. I've heard he's setting records that have never been set before. I've heard he's more valuable to his team than Aaron Judge is. I've heard he plays the field most days as opposed to Aaron Judge, who's got hurt and missed a bunch of time and had to DH when he came back. I've heard he plays in an extreme pitcher's park as opposed to an extreme hitter's park with a short porch in right field designed specifically for guys like Aaron Judge. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying that if that was the only argument for Cal Raleigh, I think I'd agree with Evan Roberts. Like, yeah, if all anyone was saying is, hey, Cal hits home runs, he should be MVP. Yeah, you're right. That's not enough to be the MVP. But nobody's saying that. At least nobody who's really paying attention. Maybe the people calling WFAN are saying that. I've heard some doozies call that station. Maybe some of his compatriots on the station are saying that. I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time listening to WFAN these days.
Mm-hmm.
But I have not generally heard that argument for Cal Raleigh of anyone saying, well, he hits a lot of home runs and he's got a huge rear end. I haven't heard that. Have you?
Yeah, I have. That was one of many arguments I heard from my tweet about Cal being MVP. That got picked up in somewhere there in New York with a 500,000
But you've heard
impressions.
it back from New Yorkers saying that's all people
Yes.
are saying. But anybody who's actually supporting Cal for MVP, no one's using that argument, are they? Or
No.
any of the pro-Cal tweets like, but look at his home runs?
No.
Like, that's just not the argument. Were any of them, but look at his rear end, other than your own, Brock? Did anybody else say that?
No.
Nobody's commenting on the power source.
He deserves it.
They're both like, yeah, he
Why
deserves
does he deserve it?
Because
because it's unique?
That's not enough of a reason to win an MVP.
Right. So is being 6'8" and 250 pounds.
There's no doubt that Aaron Judge has a case to be made for MVP. I have not heard a single person advocating for Cal saying anything like, Judge doesn't deserve it because he's not that good. Judge a great player. There's no doubt about that. None. He's
the best
great
hitter in
player.
baseball. He's the best hitter in baseball.
Certainly the last 2 years he has
He
been.
may retire the greatest right-handed hitter to ever play.
He's got unbelievable numbers. Tremendous. This is not the best numbers award, and that's the argument for Cal. And what he did, heck, Cal signing with the Mariners and helping to change the culture, all the things Cal's done are enormous. And I think the Judge gets credit for having to deal with Evan Roberts, Tiki Barber, and the rest of the New York media every day. There is a challenge of playing in that fishbowl and being held accountable the way they are in that market that simply does not exist almost anywhere else outside of maybe Boston, Philly,
and living up to
maybe
the
Detroit.
standard and the expectations that he's built. We know
There's
how
an
hard that can be on
enormous-
players.
Enormous
Yes.
amount of pressure.
That's
and
real.
And that's why I give him credit. This is not, to me, trashing Aaron Judge. It never has been. He's a really good player. But what Cal has done this year and his value to this team, getting to where they're at right now, the last argument is the one that probably kind of got under my skin more than any other.
And by the way, also look at their teams. Julio Rodriguez is a hell of a player.
Right.
Randy Arozarena is a hell of a player. Even though Eugenio Suarez hasn't done much since getting there, they got talent on this team. Let's not act like the Mariners are the sisters of the poor. Aaron Judge carries the New York Yankees. We all know it. We all talk about it. What are the Yankees without Aaron Judge? What are the Yankees without Aaron Judge? What, we forgot now? Because Cal Raleigh's got a cool nickname because his ass is big? I mean, this is absurd.
The Yankees went to the World Series last year.
They're going to have 8 guys that hit 20-plus home runs.
The Yankees went to the World Series last year. The Mariners didn't make the playoffs. What are you talking about? The Yankees went to the World Series last year.
What is the Yankees' payroll? Double? Triple?
The Mariners didn't make the playoffs and were largely not expected to make the playoffs this year. And when we went through this, and you can read more about it at seattlesports.com, and tried to figure out the biggest reasons why the Mariners are so much better than they were expected to be, number one with a bullet or 2 or 1,000 is Cal Raleigh, and it's not close. He doubled the expectations of what he was supposed to be this year. And because of that, and because of the contract he signed, and because of the way he carried this team in the first few months of the season, when the roster was not nearly as impressive as it is now, they are where they're at. Yeah, Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez, as he mentions, are really good players. Eugenio. But they're not here if Cal doesn't have the beginning of the season, the first 4 months leading up to the trade deadline that he does. And oh, by the way, when you start talking about all that talent on the Mariners, where's the most of it? Where is it all concentrated? In the rotation. And who handles the rotation? Cal. I'm sorry. None of those arguments hold a lot of water to me. Not even a little.
Nope. I appreciate it. I sent you guys yesterday. I don't know if you saw the Xavier Scruggs, the analyst there, and some of his, and he even admits, he said, I'll admit I'm starting to lean more towards Cal for MVP, and a big part of my reasoning is because he's possibly changing the way we evaluate value in this era of baseball. And that has really been my argument for, I don't know, the last month and a half with Jeff Passan. I had to ask forgiveness last week because I called somebody else's take a lazy take. It wasn't a lazy take. Buster Posey and Mike Piazza and those guys had unbelievable individual seasons, especially with their average and their OPS and all of that in their era. But in this era, Salk, what he is doing compared to his peers from a positional value, it is, there's no one even close. Juan Soto out there in right field, I know it's a different league. He's done some amazing things right there on par with Aaron Judge. What any other catcher has tried to sniff compared to Cal this season, it's night and day. And even in the history, and I keep saying this, in the history of the position, you now have not hit 1 or 2 or 5 more home runs than any individual season in the history of baseball. You now hit 10 more home runs than Salvi Perez on your way to 60. Yeah. It doesn't happen, and it doesn't happen because of the wear and the tear and how difficult and how demanding that position is. And to trudge through all of that and be head and shoulders above anybody who's ever played that position from that power standpoint, I'm sorry, that's deserving of the MVP.
The Mike Macdonald Show, the morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
Is that yesterday about as complete a team win as you can get?
I'd say it's probably the most complete win we've had in the last year or so. Yeah, it was a great win. It's also week 3, and when you watch the tape, I'm not saying this because you're doing the whole head coach doing the opposite thing, but there's plenty of stuff that we get it cleaned up, and we got to do it in a hurry.
Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app and seattlesports.com.
Man, it is really challenging trying to keep abreast of everything that goes on in the financial world, the economy here in this country. Everything seems to go up and down every day. The rates, we saw some movement here over the last few days. What does all of that mean for you? What does it mean for your future? What does it mean for your tax situation? What does it mean for retirement, college planning, all of it? The truth is there's so much to planning for retirement, and gosh, do I ever really want to get there, that you need help. And Trajan Wealth can build you a strategy based on realistic options that align with your goals, your circumstances. It's all about you. Are you interested in wealth management that's designed to protect your wealth, maintain it, and also expand your financial portfolio? Well, again, Trajan Wealth understands the importance of tactical investments and tailored insights for growth in line with your risk tolerance. They're fiduciary advisors as well, and they understand no two retirement plans, no two college plans, no two financial plans are the same. So let Trajan Wealth help you develop a plan that's going to meet your personal financial goals. Call them right now, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300, or start by going to TrajanWealth.com. 206-466-3300 or TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
At Cressy Door, we have the perfect garage door for you. Come visit our brand new garage door and fireplace showroom and let our experts help you find the perfect garage door. Cressy Door.
Planning a road trip? Plan a visit to your neighborhood Bucky's Complete Auto Repair for oil changes, brakes, AC repair, and factory maintenance. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit buckys.com.
I'm attorney Rob Iddens, proud Marine Corps veteran and owner of Warrior Injury Law. I'm a 5th-generation Pacific Northwesterner, graduated from UW and CLU School of Law. At Warrior Injury Law, we have years of experience in the trenches, fighting insurance companies for the people of Washington, my people. Forward, right. If you've been injured, you need a lawyer that is tough, confident, and battle-tested. Call us at 253-WARRIOR for your free case review. Warrior Injury Law, battle-tested.
Ready! And now, tales of another way. How long can one go on with the same scent of shower soap? Sure, sandalwood is your signature aura, but today you went tropical essence. Glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes another way is the better way, like the new SR 509 Expressway, the alternate route that'll help manage congestion on I-5 and other local roads. Tolling begins September 29th. Save $2 per toll with a Good-to-Go pass. Learn more at goodtogo509.com.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump System from Home Comfort Lines is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings. And every Quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
It all gets underway at T-Mobile Park tonight, the final homestand of the season, an opportunity to go support a team that has reacted really well each time the crowds swell, and it should. You got clinching scenarios really for all 3 nights, depending on what goes down in and around it all. Brock, tonight you could end up clinching a postseason berth. Tomorrow could be the division. Thursday could end up being the second overall seed in the American League and a first-round bye. All of that is open to these Mariners. Carl Ravitch impressed when he joined us yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, just a really confident group, knowing they're going home to wrap this whole thing up. Excited about what Seattle will do for them when they get back and how these fans. I was there in 2001. I know how great that place was. I was there at the Kingdome. Loudest building I'd ever been in, and know how passionate they are about all sports. But it's a baseball city, too, where the Mariners are playing great, and they know going home they're due for a really nice landing, soft landing, and hopefully it's the beginning of what will be an amazing end of September and a great October.
You know who I'd like to really see step up tonight? Bryce Miller. I'd really love to see him just continue to gain his confidence, right? And to feel like, man, I'm a part of this thing. He's what a rough road it has been this year, you know, with the loose bodies in his elbow and multiple stints on the IL. And, you know, there've been certainly some innings of just that magic back of seeing 97 there and dotting and painting and looking just terrific. But I would love to see him in whatever role it's going to be in the postseason, Salk. I would love to see him tonight in particular get that ball and absolutely show. Yeah,
an opportunity to kind of go into the postseason on a high note. He should have one more start, in theory, after this, so we'll see what that looks like. Well, he's going to get to do it against a really bad Rockies team. Like, there's no way to sugarcoat this. I know you guys get mad when I say this, but they're 43 and 113. They're 18-57 on the road. They have a negative 404 run differential. And the guy they're starting tonight, McCade Brown, is 0-4 with an ERA over 9 and a whip over 2.
What do you know about him, Lyle? What do you know about this McCade Brown guy?
Not
Young
a whole
guy?
lot, although
Talented guy? What do we know?
Would you like to know more?
I was
no.
Oh, I was going to ask you guys. Do you know who Chase Dolander is? Speaking of the Rockies, yeah. So he was their top draft pick 2 years ago. He was drafted in the top 10, and he's one of their young players that has a chance to be really good. So his ERA is 6.5 on the year. It gets better than that. On the road, he's actually been a good starting pitcher in every way. His ERA is in the 3s on the road.
Wow.
At home, 9.98. Check out those splits.
That's really
10 ERA at home and
really
a 3.5 on the road.
Hard to imagine. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is just really bizarre. Bryce Miller and McCade Brown tonight at 6:40.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
A lot of positive momentum right now for the Seahawks, Brock, and for good reason. They played really well the last couple of weeks, and now they're 2-1, and the injury report looks decent heading into a Thursday night game against Arizona. Some guys would have been, they didn't actually practice yesterday, so everything is kind of, what do they call
Speculative.
it? It's speculative.
It's
It's
on
an
spec.
estimate of what
It's
they
on
would have
spec.
done. But limited would have been Leonard Williams, Boye Mafe, Elijah Arroyo, Robbie Oots. Charbonnet would have been a full participant, and then Witherspoon, Love, and Eamon Worry all would have at least been partial participants. Seems like pretty good news and pretty decent health heading into Arizona.
So what do you do, Salky? You crank them up to full speed on Thursday, as Mike said to us yesterday? Like, there's going to be very, very little full speed work, if any at all.
I think it's hard for me to answer that without
Are you going to
knowing
crank
them.
up Spoon and Eman Worry and try to, get them to full speed Thursday? Or are you going to give them, yet again, what turns into almost another kind of mini bye week with a Thursday game and all of this time off to get
I think I got to
fully
know. I don't know
100%?
whether there's like one answer for like all of them.
I think if there's any risk that it goes backwards significantly, then
Right.
you've got to keep them on ice. But if they are getting close, then you are going to have a little extra recovery after this game. And it's a pretty big one down there in Arizona.
Well,
Very
especially
easily.
'cause after this, the schedule kind of opens up for you a little bit. Like you win this game, and then you got like Jacksonville in there, and some other Houston teams that Tampa, who I know is 3-0, but I'm not really buying anything that they're selling. I don't know. Things start looking a little better if you can find a way to win this game. Chris
Part
Long,
the Red Sea, though, so it's not easy.
yeah, you can part that sucker. Is that? Are you saying that here today on Rosh Hashanah of all days, Brock? Chris Long has been a big fan of Mike Macdonald and this team from the beginning.
New OC, new quarterback. I just think Mike's a hell of a coach. Yep. He's a hell of a coach. And I think the defense is totally underrated, flying under the radar. It's going to take a primetime game where they look really good for people nationally to realize who they are. Yeah. I do believe that.
Well, they're going to get that opportunity on Thursday. Al Michaels will be on the call, and he joins us in less than an hour.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Kind of going back and forth on this Cal Raleigh thing throughout the morning, Brock, and I played you some of the sound from New York a few minutes ago. John Morosi was here on the station yesterday with Wyman and Bob, and he wrote the script for Cal winning the MVP.
I think that if you were going to script a last couple weeks of the season for Cal Raleigh to be the MVP of the American League, it would look exactly like it looks. The Mariners, I think for him to win, the Mariners, I think, had to win the division, which looks likely. He had to get in the neighborhood of 60 home runs, which he's done, and maybe he even gets 60, which is obviously it's possible. It's just amazing to think about what he's got a chance to do in the next week. So that's true. The pitching has obviously been so great, and it's such a core part of the identity of this team. And he obviously is a very integral person of that run prevention effort.
Yes, yes, and yes. And oh, by the way, I think it would help to be the number 2 seed as well.
Mm-hmm.
And to finish this season with a better record than New York Yankees. And I think you're just a game behind them in the win-loss column.
They have the White Sox, and I don't remember who. You got the Rockies and the Dodgers.
Yeah. Yep.
And the Tigers still have the Guardians and Red Sox. Just amazing. That is everything you need to know. Also, Kraken going to go tonight. Second preseason game up in Calgary. Then tomorrow they'll be in Edmonton.
Yeah,
Orioles.
the Yankees
It's
get
the
the
White Sox
Orioles.
and Orioles.
Yeah. Orioles at home for the final three.
It was funny looking through some of because for the thing I wrote last night, I was looking at projections and numbers from the beginning of the year, and I think it was Mike Petriello, it might have been somebody else, who maybe Bradford Doolittle, one or the other, had like an ESPN piece tiering all of the teams, and the Mariners were in the, I think, 4th tier, but the group that was World Series or bust included both the Orioles and the Braves. Isn't that remarkable, kind of where you're at right now?
So it's, there was an old baseball prophet. He liked to say, that's just baseball. It's just baseball.
Yeah.
Year to year. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah.
And by the way, one of the guys you highlighted in that segment last hour, and you did a really good job of that, who deserves the biggest slices of the credit pie? Did you see Hollander's comments last week about
on
Polanco?
Yes, I did see those.
And how close, I think it's Daniel Kramer article, really well done, how close Polanco was to being a Houston Astro. And if he'd been in that Astros lineup with 30-plus doubles and 20-plus home runs.
It might have been even more. I mean, like being in that ballpark every game and opportunities to hit down those Crawford boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been fun. I think everybody would have enjoyed that. Yep. So, yeah, baseball's a very, very, very strange sport. There's nothing quite like it, but it's going to be super fun over these next 3 days and hopefully well beyond that. So get an opportunity, get over to the ballpark. I'm going tomorrow night to the game, bringing the kids in case there's a big clinching thing tomorrow night. Really fun to be there when teams clinch. So got an opportunity to do that here this week. All right, coming up next, let's talk some more about this baseball team and everything else going on around them. Jeffrey, I don't know his middle name, Malloy? Passan. I'm making up a middle name for him. Jeffrey Malloy Passan. He'll join us next on Brock and Salk.
Move aside, Junior.
Swung on. That is cranked. Right field.
Make way for Cal.
It is on its way. It is history. Number 57.
Congratulations, Cal Raleigh.
The most home runs for a Seattle Mariner in a single season.
As Cal rewrites the history books and builds his case for MVP, this is where you hear it all. The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
All right, look, as we start digging in, getting ready for the weather that I was just complaining about, fall, it can lead to some real chilly temperatures, and then we get into winter. You got to make sure that your house is up for the challenge so that, A, you're not freezing cold at night, and B, you're not bleeding money in terms of energy costs. Well, get Crawl Pros to come out to your house. They'll do a whole free corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and your attic, and, yeah, they're going to check the insulation. If it's not up to snuff, if you don't have any, if it's failing, they can fix all of that. And even better, if you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% off the cost to properly insulate your crawl space and attic. That's huge, 95%. But you got to act now. You got to get in touch because many of these rebates are going to end at the end of this year, including some of those federal incentives. So let Crawl Pros come out and get your house properly insulated before the fall weather really comes. If you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, Crawl Pros free corner-to-corner inspections got you covered. Schedule it now at crawlpros.com.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Mariners fans, it's time to bring the noise to T-Mobile Park. This lineup is loaded up and locked in from every moonshot.
Now Raleigh obliterates this. How far? Way back there.
To every how in the world did he catch that moment?
And Julio makes the catch. No fly zone in full effect.
Be here as the squad shuts the door and lights the W.
Munoz looking for the final out. Here's the stretch, and the strike three called, and the ball game is over.
This is our house.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
Be here this week as the Mariners fight for their spot in the postseason. The action gets started with 3 straight value games against the Rockies tonight through Thursday. Then don't miss a star-studded showdown against Ohtani and the defending World Series champion Dodgers Friday to Sunday. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Stacey Rost here. It's time to recognize a woman in our sports community with the 2025 Women of Inspiration Award. The nominations are in, and the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events, needs your help selecting a winner. Voting is open now until September 26th at woiseattle.org. The winner will receive a generous cash donation from WISE and their partners for the cause of their choice. Help honor a local woman today. Vote by September 26th at woiseattle.org.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
If you've been considering upgrading your siding, now is the perfect time. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. In the Pacific Northwest, moisture is the enemy. Old failing siding leads to hidden water damage, rot, and mold. State Roofing and Exteriors is a James Hardy preferred contractor with over 55 years of siding expertise. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your siding inspection today. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. I'm joined by Tim Hunter, who underwent treatment in February. Tim, what's it like to go through the CyberKnife treatment?
Well, you go in, you do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital, and it's they say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It was just too easy.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/CyberKnifeProstate.
Rick Riz here with Keith Dashafee, a local owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. With your help and the Improve Your Play program, Pella has chosen a local youth athletic program to receive a $5,000 grant. Keith, who's the lucky winner this week?
Rick, we could not be more excited to announce Mount Baker Youth Baseball as one of 2 winners of this $5,000 grant.
Thanks to Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington for helping our local youth thrive.
Toyota of Kirkland's service department has you covered as the summer winds down and the fall approaches. At Toyota of Kirkland, be confident in your brakes with the complimentary brake inspection. Get winter ready with a free battery health check, wiper blade installation, and multi-point inspection. Thinking of trading in? Get a complimentary vehicle appraisal. Stay ahead with the maintenance service plan at $374 plus tax. And yes, they match coupons from other local Toyota dealers. Visit toyotaofkirkland.com to schedule your service today. Drive safe, drive smart with Toyota of Kirkland.
O'Brien.
This hour is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, pretty cool week we are having here, Brock, with all kinds of clinch scenarios ahead of us as the Mariners get underway tonight with the Rockies. We got plenty of guests for you a little bit later, 45 minutes from now. Al Michaels on the show, and then Daniel Jeremiah after that. We'll get it started. It's Tuesday. It's 8:30. It's Jeff Passan. Good morning, Jeffrey.
Al Michaels, look at you going big time.
How about
boys.
that?
I love it.
That's all Brock. Brock got that one done. I have nothing to do with that. I'm just along for the ride on Al
wow,
Michaels.
I'm utterly shocked by that, Mike.
Hey,
Brock has relationships and you don't. Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
yeah.
Breaking news.
My one big contribution to the show was getting Jeff Passan on.
I know. What a loser.
That's my only connection.
Hey, Jeffrey, we had Carl Ravitch on yesterday because he called the Sunday night baseball game, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
to
Brock
chat
got him
with
too. Yeah.
Chat with Ravi. But how influential was the Baseball Tonight show in Jeff Passan's career?
Like the one, you mean like the one with Ravitch and Steve Phillips
Peter
and Peter
Gammons.
Gammons?
Like, I grew up on that.
Yeah.
My buddies grew up on that.
Yeah,
Like,
I was gonna say Soof Campbell. Like that was everything. It was. I don't know if it was what got me into this business, because my dad worked at a newspaper for 42 years. So that was probably a little bit more influential. But when I was growing up, Baseball Tonight was my favorite show. And it's still, like, to this day, I started at ESPN in 2019, and I still get really excited getting to go on Baseball Tonight. And Ravi is just the smoothest operator in studio that I've ever been with. And I just, that first day I was there, it was Ravi and Tim Kirkchin. And I remember, like, I'm looking out onto the set and the camera's there. And I was like, what am I doing here? This is so cool. And this is so weird. And I have incredible imposter syndrome.
I don't blame you. I don't think the Mariners do right now. Thank you for the perfect transition. I'm not quite Ravi smooth, but I'll take it. Is this let me just ask you this way. How complete is this Mariner team right now?
I'm going to do something that I did not necessarily want to do, because I am very wary and very cognizant that Mariners fans believe I am a pox. And I try to, like, it's scared me to this point. It really has. Like, I didn't say anything on social media. The game they lost against the Royals, I was there. Like, it's the only game that they've lost in the last 2 weeks. And it's the only game in that series that I went to. But we have a story coming out on ESPN.com. I think it's tomorrow. And, we've been, the whole baseball writing staff has been asked to just go around and chat with sources and pick their brains about the playoffs. And first question, what's the boldest prediction you've heard from an MLB executive or scout? Passan, the Seattle Mariners are going to win the World Series. Like, that's where we're at this point, guys. And this is not two things. One, this is an evaluator who has been around for a very long time, has seen a lot of things, and whose opinion I trust. But the other part is he's not the only one who thinks that. And I think it's a function, certainly, of the American League being a festival of mediocrity. But it's also, if you just objectively look at what the Mariners are doing right now and the talent that they've had the best offense in Major League Baseball in terms of runs scored as well as peripherals in the month of September. They have a rotation where, as long as Brian Wu is healthy, Brian Wu, followed by Logan Gilbert, followed by, whether it's George Kirby or Luis Castillo, that's a lot of good starting pitching. And then you kick Bryce Miller over the bullpen in the playoffs and add him to Caleb Ferguson and Gabe Spire and Matt Brash and Edward Pizzardo and Andres Munoz. And all of a sudden it's like you add that together with the quality defense that they play, and you can make an argument that they are actually the most complete team left right now.
Kind of tired of the MVP conversation. I'm going to give Cal a different award. I'm going to give him the Badonka-Conk Award. What do you think about that?
I think you need to pronounce it correctly. Can you try it one more time?
Yeah.
Nope.
It's a second D in that, Brock.
Just one more, please. Please, please, one more time.
I didn't write it down. I read your article and I didn't write it down. That's just how it was stuck in my head.
Yeah. I think that's how Missy pronounced it too, if I'm not mistaken.
Badonka-Conk?
No.
Two
Ds.
No.
Two Ds?
Yeah. It's not conk. It's a donk at the end. Try it one more time. Third time's a charm.
Badonka-Donk.
Got it.
Yeah!
Nailed it. Woo! I got Brock Heward to say badonkadonk on his third try.
Badonkadonk, badonkadonk, badonkadonk. Badonkadonk, badonkadonk. What is that? What is that award? What are we doing here in your column?
Do you know, are you aware of what a badonkadonk is?
No, I am not. Nope, I am not.
That's another way of saying that somebody's got a big booty.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
As I said in the story, in awarding Cal Raleigh the Badonkadonk of the Year, he puts the Maximus in gluteus, and I was not going to award MVPs like everyone else. Number one, just because I do not want to get caught up in the discourse. Like, this is a big part of why I stopped voting. Beyond the fact that my vote potentially having a financial impact on players I didn't think was right or reasonable, but that's for each particular writer to decide for him or herself. But beyond that, it's like I just don't want to sit here and argue with people who are like going to be irrational about this. And I'm not even like questioning their irrationality. Like, I get it. You're a fan. You want to see your guy win. You watch him every day. And if you watch Cal Raleigh every day, there's no universe where you don't think he should be the most valuable player. And if you watch Aaron Judge every day, there's no universe where you think anyone else should be most valuable player. And it's I love that the debate exists for people, because I think there are exceptional cases to be made for both guys. And I'm just super interested to see what voters do, because, guys, I'll be honest, I have no idea what direction this is going to go in. And
has there ever been co-MVPs? Has there ever been just, the 30 writers just say, listen, this is so, like, these guys are both so worthy of this. And by no means am I an everybody gets a medal kind of guy. But has there been, what's a precedent for co-MVPs?
I mean, it has to be really, really lucky, because I don't think you're going to have Cal Raleigh getting 15 first place votes and Aaron Judge getting 15 second place votes and vice versa. But I suppose that's possible, because I don't think there's anybody else who's going to get a first or second place vote this year. Like, if you want to say Bobby Witt Jr., Bobby Witt's been great. He has not been as good as Aaron Judge or Cal Raleigh. Jose Ramirez has been awesome, not as good. And the only time I believe was fact check me on this, 1979. I think it was Willie Stargell and Keith Hernandez in the National League.
Jeff, are you you like Zips projections? Do you have a favorite projection system? I've always gone with Zips just because of Dan. I think he does a great job.
I was going to say, I think Dan Zimborski is great. Okay. I look at projections, and I always think that projections are safe, which inherently they're supposed to be and should be. But I don't think projections I look at them and say, yeah, this is what a guy's going to do.
Agreed.
No, I think
of course you're not supposed
to. The low side of that.
But which do you think is crazier? Cal Raleigh being where he's at right now after being projected to hit 28 home runs and 80 RBI this year. He's obviously at 58 and 121. Or Jorge Polanco being less valuable to the Mariners this year than Ryan Bliss or Samad Taylor? The answer is yes.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I get both of them.
Sure.
I get both of them. This is just such an outlier season for Cal Raleigh. Not only from his career norms, but just the perspective of the position that he plays. I don't care who we're talking about. The notion of any catcher getting close to 60 home runs is foolish, because catchers don't play enough games to compile those kinds of numbers. And that's the thing. I don't know if you guys heard before the Sunday night game, I did a little video essay on Cal. And, I started off with the fact that he's there every day. Like that to me, more than the home runs, stands out. That every single day Cal Raleigh is in this lineup. I think he's going to finish with 159 games played unless the Mariners clinch and give him a day off, which they should. But they're going to be, at this point, they're fighting for home field, right? Like that's the thing about Detroit's collapse has been not just that Cleveland is within one game and now, could be tied after tonight. It's that it's allowed the Mariners, who are 48-27 at home this season, to be in position to miss the wild card series altogether and then host the division series.
Their magic number is 4. to have the second seed.
Yeah.
That's incredible with 6 left to play.
Do you guys want to know what the wildest number going on right now is? I don't know. Have you looked at the playoff odds on Fangraphs?
Yep.
Do you guys know who has the
Badonkadonk? Yep.
I mean,
it's Badonkadonk.
It is. If you mean ridiculous by that, yes it is.
Yes.
And
yes, it is.
And
especially for this fan base, Jeffrey, especially for these fans, especially for this city that wants this so stinking bad to look at that. And there's part of them that want to just put their hands over their eyes and not really look at that.
You know why, Brock? Because that's the group of people who saw this team lose 15 of 21 games less than 3 weeks ago.
Yes. Yes.
They are eminently aware. As good as the Mariners look right now, as great as everyone feels coming off that Houston series, and with an American League clinch in sight at this point. I love Bob. I'm not going to be Bob and crown the Mariners yet because it's baseball and it's Seattle. Mm-hmm. And when you put those two things together, entropy happens. So I'm not going to say that the Mariners are going to be American League West champions, even though for months now I've been saying I think that's going to be the outcome. I'm just shocked that Fangraphs thinks, and not Fangraphs as if it's a human being, but the computers that the very smart people at Fangraphs use, that they believe that the Mariners have greater than a 1 in 5 chance of winning the World Series, a number that's significantly higher than any other team in baseball. The next best team is the Mariners are at 21.5%. The Dodgers are at 14.2%. The Yankees are at 13.2%. The Blue Jays at 11.5%. The Phillies at only 9.6%.
Wasn't that because some of those National League teams are going to have to play each other, right? I mean, just to get through the gauntlet of the Phillies, Dodgers. I think if you ask the same people or computers who are the best teams, I think they'd still say Phillies, Dodgers, Brewers are probably the 3 best teams in baseball. But the Mariners don't have to face any of those teams until you get to the World Series. They have to face a grouping in the American League that is nowhere close to that. And so I guess I ask you this. Let's say the Mariners do win the division, or Cleveland, Detroit, Houston, Boston will be left for 3 spots. Who's the odd man out?
My instinct tells me Houston, but the Astros are playing the A's and the Angels this week. And I know the A's have been playing better, but God, the Angels are just awful. And by the way, in the spirit of transparency and accountability, I was very wrong last week on this program about the Guardians, completely dismissing them.
Did somebody give you the business about that? Did somebody?
Yeah. Mike did, and I'm honestly, Brock, I'm perfectly okay with that. I think accountability is an important.
No. I'm not even going to read you the text that Salk sent to Mora. I'm not even going to read you the text that Salky sent to me and Lyle and Mora about that.
I said I was busting your something, but it didn't come out right on autocorrect or something.
It was really
highly inappropriate.
It became highly inappropriate. It sounded like you and I had a different type of relationship than we do.
Is this an HR issue, guys?
It could be. Yeah, it's an autocorrect HR issue.
Did I clip it and save it for maybe a later date?
I love it. I love it when people say autocorrect without putting the air quotes up. Yes. Just give a nice little wink here, Mike. It was autocorrect.
You know what it is? Honestly, jokes aside, you know what it is? It's getting to an age where if I don't have my glasses and I'm trying to text something, I have no idea what it says by the time I send it. So I hit send without having figured out whether or not it got changed or not.
Yeah, that's how you get arson judged, though. Like you have to have better text fidelity.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
Have to, because you're gonna send one out that's gonna.
You can make it bigger, Salk. You can make it like some people do.
I refuse to do that. I refuse to make it that big.
Hey, 2 serious questions here, Jeffrey. 2 serious questions. You wrote a book all about the arm, all about the elbow, all about Tommy John, all about flexor bundles. We've talked a lot about that. And I'm sure there was a section on a pec and the pectoral muscle and the impact and effects. What do we know about that? Because that's what Mr. Wu has. We'll get further detail from Mr. Hollander later this afternoon. How concerning is a pec?
There was not a section on a pec because a pec is a muscle, and muscle strains tend to sort of just come out of nowhere. I don't know what caused this with Brian Wu, but if it is as minimal as the Mariners are hoping, I think we'll see Brian Wu out there in game one of the postseason. And I think he'll be just fine. But you know what I think the closest thing to liken it to is, Brock? It's an oblique. You know, it's in the same general area, and recurrence is more frequent than you would like. But hopefully for the sake of the Mariners, this was just a one-time thing. And I know Brian Wu's been getting treatment the last few days, and there's optimism right now, but it's optimism that can vanish very quickly because of the nature of the injury.
Your guy, Carl Ravitch, had a good little point on this yesterday. I'm curious if your mind goes the same way his mind went and opinion went yesterday with us. Cal Raleigh's season this year has benefited whom the most on the Mariners around him?
I'm guessing he said Julio.
Yep.
I think there's probably some truth to that. I don't know if it's the most necessarily. I just think that when a guy is doing unprecedented things, it benefits everyone. And I know that's kind of a cop-out, but just the way that when a guy has to get pitched around in a lineup, it's not necessarily the one before him or the one after him who benefits the most. I haven't dug in enough on pitch patterns for other players to say definitively that what Cal Raleigh has done is giving this guy the most impact. So I don't want to say that, but I get the rationale, and one would think like logically it makes sense.
And he went more intangibly, honestly, Jeff. He went more to just the pressure, right? There's been so much expectation on Julio and so much to carry, and his ceiling is so high, and he's this and he's that, and he's all these expectations. And it's like, now I get to just play free, right? And he's a free-spirited, fun spirit guy.
Yeah, I think there's that, but I think that went away a little bit, the self-inflicted pressure with Julio. I think that's come more with just him growing up a little bit. It's nice to sit here and think that Cal Raleigh's emergence as a superstar would free Julio, but I think that sort of sells Julio short, as if because one guy is performing that suddenly he doesn't feel the need to be great. The need to be great for him is there because it's inherent, not because it's what the Mariners need from him. I think all of those sorts of things, they tend to emanate more from the kind of personality you have than the people who are surrounding you. And let's not forget, like, Cal Raleigh had 38 home runs last year. Like, he wasn't a jobber last year. He had turned into not this version of himself, but a pretty reasonable facsimile. And I don't look at Julio like he's changed a whole lot as a player. I know he's striking out less, and that's nice to see. And I know he's tapped into the power that we've seen in past seasons. In a lot of ways, and correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't this kind of remind you of 2023 Julio?
Kind of reminds me of every year Julio, like some struggles, and then he comes roaring back in the second half, and with a couple of steals, is going to be 30-30 again. I mean, it just really remarkable. I was going through some of the numbers that the Mariners could end up with here by the end of the year. And, there's some really cool milestones, I guess you would call them, that are still in play. Cal could get to 60 home runs, obviously. He's not going to get to 20 stolen bases. He would need 6 more. So he's not that far from 60-20, but it's not going to happen. Julio needs 2 steals for 30-30. Randy needs 3 home runs.
Randy's close. Yeah.
3 home runs and 2 steals for 30-30. Gino needs 3 home runs to get to 50. But my favorite little stat is this. Do you know, this is so bizarre, do you know how many stolen bases Ken Griffey Jr. had in his best stolen base career of his season of his career?
25.
24. Or 4 fewer than Josh Naylor has this year.
I know. It's absolutely absurd. I was kind of sad in my I gave out the awards today, and in the same article as the Badonkadonk of the year, I crowned the Thief of the year and gave it to Juan Soto.
Oh.
And Juan Soto leads Major League Baseball in stolen bases in the second half.
That's crazy.
Juan Soto, he's got 35 steals this season. He had never stolen more than 13 bases in a season more than 12 bases in a season previously. Like it's just so funny to look at stolen base leaders like Agustin Ramirez, who is a catcher with a Cal Raleigh caliber body from Miami Marlins, has more stolen bases in the second half than Bobby Witt Jr., Ellie De La Cruz, Fernando Tatis Jr., and like a number of guys. And it's one of those things that goes to show that there are little marginal advantages still left in baseball.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeffrey, we got 30 seconds. I'm going to put this on the tee for you. Take it wherever you want. But with the final week of the season, with everything available, with everything on the horizon for the Mariners and their fan base, fill in the blank. The Mariners fan base is?
Not spoiled.
That's a good answer. Can't really argue with that one. I think that's right on cue. There she is. Nice job, Missy. Brock, you don't know that? That means nothing.
No, I know
to you?
Badonkadonk. Now
Somebody
I got it.
even put in some country song.
So hard not to stare at that honky tonk.
Badonkadonk.
Because someone said, how does Brock not know the
How do you not know that
honky
one,
tonk?
I'm
Brock?
sorry.
Come on now.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Thank you,
Can
Missy.
handle these badonkadonk
Thank you,
expectations.
Trace Atkins, apparently. I don't know who that is, but
Trace,
yes,
yeah.
Trace. And thank you to Jeff Passan. Jeff, when we talk next week, the season will be over.
But we won't be over. No, we won't. Baseball season ain't ending Sunday for us, Jeff.
Brock, stop.
Goodbye, Jeffrey. We'll talk to you next week. There's Jeff Passan. Every Tuesday at 8:30, we'll be right back on Brock and Salk.
It's been a while since we talked magic number around here. You know, this team does that or whoever beats the other whoever, and yeah, it's a lot. So here's a nerd who can help.
The Mariners win 3 games, Mariners win 1, the Astros lose 2, or a combination of the Tigers, the Red Sox.
Hey, thanks, Lefko. Steamrolling toward the postseason tonight. Mariners and Rockies at T-Mobile. First pitch 6:40. Wyman and Bob are there live beginning at 2 on the home of your first place Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Toyota has more all-wheel drive or electrified hybrid choices than anyone else, like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through September 30th, get a new 25 Highlander or Grand Highlander with 4.75 APR financing. Or you can get 5.75 APR financing on hybrid models. With approved credit through TFS, a negotiable doc fee of up to $200 may be added. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Whether you're building a high-rise or hosting a family reunion, you need things to run smooth and clean. That's where Honey Bucket comes in. They deliver top-tier portable restrooms, hand-washing stations, storage containers, fencing, and much more for construction sites and special events of all sizes. Just ask Cal Raleigh, Big Dumper himself. He knows a clean setup when he sees one. Honey Bucket. Local, trusted by pros, preferred by party planners. Call today or visit honeybucket.com.
Rain is coming. Is your roof ready? The rainy season is approaching fast, Seattle, and 3 Tree Roofing has your roof replacement covered. Get $500 off by scheduling your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com. Their professional installers guarantee a seamless replacement this rainy season. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer premium windows that are 25% more energy efficient, reduce noise by 50%, and come with clean glass technology. And Leak Armor installation gives you a lifetime warranty to protect your home. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Your time is money. So why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to see you on the interview.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Hello! All right, final hour of our morning here on Brock and Salk. So just to set it up for you, 15 minutes from now, Al Michaels at 9:15, the GOAT, greatest of all time, certainly in the conversation as the greatest play-by-play announcer of all time. Just out of curiosity.
And I can confirm via conversation that, in text conversation, still no veggies.
No.
And still no kitchen.
Right.
I got a freezer and fridge for the chops and the steaks and for whoever comes over and grills.
So what room do the freezer and fridge live in? The garage, do you think?
I think probably in a pantry. I'm going to say a pantry.
A pantry? But doesn't a pantry have to come off a kitchen?
It could. Closet. Yeah, it could.
I bet it's in a garage. Something tells me it's in a garage.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
It's got to be in a garage. I mean, and he lives in L.A. Maybe it's like outdoors or something. But like,
that makes sense.
It's got to be in a garage. If you don't have a kitchen, where do you put a fridge and freezer? It's got to be a basement or a garage, and LA's not a big basement town.
No, it's not. No,
So
that's a good point.
I'm gonna guess that's in the garage, but also fairly hilarious. So looking forward to it. Al is the king. I'm trying to think if you have a Mount Rushmore of play-by-play announcers.
Keith Jackson's up there for me because he was just the voice of my childhood, college football, and the number of Puyallupites, the Billy Joe Hobarts, and he just said Billy Joe Hobart's so good, and coming back home after my first game that he did, and just listening to him say my name, and obviously Damon and Puyallup where his daddy coached him, Keith Jackson's way up there, Musburger's way up there, and Al Michaels is way up there. Probably for you because of the pro background, I would say Al's probably at the top of your list.
Probably number one. As a kid, I absolutely loved every game with Pat Summerall and John Madden. And Pat Summerall was so great and so understated. Yes. But Pat, as much as I love Pat Summerall, he was not like a natural play-by-play guy who kind of did it in everything, right? He was a football player.
He was a former punter.
Right. Yeah. Kicker, punter. In any event,
punter.
I thought he was a kicker.
Was he a kicker?
Paul McGuire was a punter.
Paul was definitely a punter. Maybe you're right.
I think he was a kicker, but whatever.
Yeah,
he came from the football world, and so that's a little different. Musburger was. I'll tell you, I think Joe Buck is on the list. I think Joe has turned himself into one of the all-time greats, just with his ability to call different sports and, again, make the moment seem big. That's what all those guys have in common, right? Whether you're talking about Keith Jackson or Brent Musburger, Jim Nantz got to be on the list. When they call a game, it just feels huge. And that has always been the case for Al Michaels. So he's on the call on Thursday night. Maybe not a huge game. It's a week 4 matchup between the Seahawks and Cardinals. But everything does feel a little bit bigger with Al on the call. And, looking forward to that. We'll talk to him coming up here in about 10 minutes. It's mostly been a Mariner day, though, and Al certainly called some baseball in his career. He's called everything. We've talked to him about it before. Anything jump out to you from Passan and from that conversation, from his article with executives pointing at the Mariners and saying that's the team to watch?
No, and I remember
it shouldn't surprise you at this point.
I remember
right?
this so vividly, and I don't know if you do as well. You probably don't, but I remember being in Starkville, Mississippi. Back in the day when I had to lug all my equipment with me, had to reach out to the SIDs when I was taking red eyes there, Salky to the SEC, and where I think we were maybe middays or maybe we were mornings, I don't know. But I just remember plugging my machine in and hoping that it would work and hoping it would connect back to the station and having a conversation on a Friday leading up to a Seahawk game. This was like in 12, 13, 14. We're just like, you know what? I'm done. I remember a caller. We took calls calling in on a Friday. Like, I'm just done. I'm done being scaredy Seahawk guy. I'm done being, something bad's gonna happen. Whoa, they're gonna break our heart. Whoa, and the caller was just like, I'm done. I'm done with that. The Richard Shermans and the Loudmouths and the Legion of Boom and these guys have given us and given our fan base the confidence that we have not had in the past, that we're good and we can say it. And it's okay to say it with our chest.
The problem is doing that in baseball can be such a fool's exercise because of the short sample size of what's left. Right? I mean, in order to win the World Series, how many games, let's say they get the first round bye, how many games they need to win? What, 3 + 4 + 4? Right?
11.
You got to win 11 games.
That's right.
Okay. 11 out of what, 19? You're talking about a 19-game maximum sample size.
Can you go 11-8? Just like old Lyle's
you
formula.
Could.
With the Mariners getting to 88 wins. Remember that?
You could go
Can
to 11-8.
they go 13-5? They're not going 13-5. How can they go 13-5? They're not going 13-5 in what kind of stretch? How do you get to 13-5? How do you get to 88? Well, now you got to go 1-5.
Well, you can go 11-8 though and still not make it because you don't get an opportunity to get all the way there. If unfortunately some of those losses get clustered in a row, and that to me is the one problem with making that comp. I know what
football.
You mean.
You have 60 minutes. Dog. Football, you only have 60 minutes. Football, you only have one game.
And
you
yet,
don't get to play a playoff game
and
in
yet,
a best of 5.
And yet, the best tend to, the cream rises to the top. It feels like almost every year. It is so much easier to say that with your chest. I think you can very easily say with your chest, this is a good Mariner team. But it's so much harder to predict what that's going to mean.
Well, and it's such a numbers, and it's so different because of all of these numbers and all of these odds and all of these things. There's so much more in your mentals in baseball. There's so much more in your mind
football
versus
players don't go
your
cold.
heart.
They don't just get cold. That just doesn't happen. You don't have a guy just all of a sudden is cold. Like, well, he used to be an accurate passer, but today he's not. Like, that just doesn't happen
Well,
in
if they get
football.
hit or hurried or
I understand, but you know what I mean.
yes.
They don't get
I know,
cold.
yes.
There might be a reason for it. You could change them, but they're not just going to randomly go cold because their throwing motion changes. And that happens in baseball all the time. Oh, my swing's a little off. My timing's a little off. I've gone
release
cold.
point's a little off, yeah.
And so because of it, I do think it's so much harder to make that calm. But I think you're absolutely safe to say this is the best looking Mariner team you've seen in forever because of the pitching, because of the hitting, because of the whole thing. They are the most complete team. That's why I use that word specifically with Jeff. I don't know if they're the best team in the league. The last couple weeks will determine that. I do think that when you look at them, they're the most complete team in the American League.
In the American League.
Yeah.
That series in Philly still stings.
Oh,
me.
absolutely. I think Philly's
Right?
a more complete baseball team.
They're a more complete team.
I think
Milwaukee is a more complete team.
Absolutely. I am not talking about Major League Baseball. I am talking about the
Dodgers
American League.
More complete roster.
That's probably true. Yeah. But the Mariners don't really have any major weaknesses. You look at the team, they're good. They're good all the way around. They've got a 1 through 9 lineup that's good. That doesn't mean they're going to hit 8 home runs and score 12 runs every day, but they're a good team. They can hit home runs. They can get on base. They can walk. They can limit their strikeouts. They can grind out at bats. They can do all the things.
A number of different ways.
Absolutely.
Yep.
They can run. I mean, like, they're a good team. They got a good starting rotation, and their bullpen back end is nasty as it gets. Yeah, I feel like you could say that with your chest. Are you ready? Are you ready to talk to Al Michaels? All right, let's take a quick break so that we're ready. We're not going to do any need to know today. The only thing you need to know is that Al Michaels is coming up next on Brock and Salk.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
We look forward to it each and every week. Look at that smile. He's already smiling.
This is a really good Seattle team that looks like a division winner. They're playing like it, and their closest competition, their flaws are showing up in the worst possible time. So they should win the division. They probably will. The Seattle Mariners right now are the best team in the American League West, and there are plenty of people who think they might be the best team in the entire league.
See the full conversation on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
All right, you can say it with your chest. You can do it. You can say it with your chest. You can say it out loud, even if you're a little embarrassed. Yeah, you've not dealt with your insurance because you don't want to. It's too stressful. It's too confusing. You don't know where to start. Well, that is where you need to do what Molly and I and so many of my family and friends have done. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge and let First Mark be your teammate that will do the work for you. We spent a lot of time listening to all these First Mark Challenge victories, and the only bummer is we didn't make the call earlier. Here's how they do it. Here's how First Mark goes to work for you, like they did for me. And again, so many of my family and friends, they will analyze your current coverage, making sure you're not overpaying for the wrong coverage. Then, unlike you and me, they go to the market. Dozens of major carriers they've worked with to find you the best fit. That's it. There's no stress or confusion on your end at all. Think of it this way. First Mark's your teammate, and they spent the last 30 years helping thousands of families manage the complicated world of insurance. So don't wait a day longer. Take the First Mark Challenge, and I tell you, it's totally free. And you might be the next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. It's all right there. Firstmarkinsurance.com, your teammate that goes to work for you.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
And so luxurious, they'll be setting the standard for decades. You're imagining a Mainview home. Now imagine a Mainview home on sale, saving $50,000 to $120,000.
Isn't that what Brett and Amy bought? Yeah, it's a Mainview, and they saved a bundle. What are you doing? Looking at the Mainview website. It's now or never.
What's better than a Mainview home? A Mainview home on sale. Mainview communities across the Puget Sound.
It is that time of year. I cannot wait for the weather to get warm like it is now on consecutive days. That means I can break the motorcycle out, ride to work, ride all over the place, and I love it more than just about anything. But I also know that it's not a matter of if, but when you get in an accident, what are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you, when you're injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who live it. Law Tigers has been a part of the writing community for nearly 25 years nationwide. They are here 24/7, 365 days a year because writers deserve real support when they need it. Law Tigers is the resource writers can turn to when they are in need. Law Tigers is out at all the events and supporting all clubs and shops. The Law Tigers are always by your side. Your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. The Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Where you hear Cal's quest for the MVP.
Goodbye, baseball, number 50 for Cal Raleigh.
Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafee from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The dining district at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-466-3300. That's 206-466-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
So cool. I would say in the nearly 17 years, Brock, 16 and a half years since we started doing the show, getting Al Michaels on the first time was one of the true highlights. So having him on now for a second time, truly amazing. Al, good morning, and thank you for taking a few minutes with us. We really appreciate it.
I want to run the table. I mean, I want to be on like 15, 20 more times. You guys just don't call.
Brock.
You know.
That's on Brock. I'm just going to say, I don't have your number, so that's just on Brock. I mean, like, Brock's the guy who's going to get in touch with you. So we will talk to you anytime you want because we just both are huge, huge fans of yours. And we'll talk a little bit about the Thursday night game, obviously. But I don't know. I think we just like talking to you and hearing about your career and everything that you've done, all of the games you've called. At this point, Al, you're just calling NFL games, right? How long has it been since you've called another sport?
It's been a while. I mean, I stopped doing anything but football when I was at NBC all of those years. I guess the Olympics were probably the last thing that I did, and I've done, I think, 8 or 9 of them. So we were in Rio for the 2016 Summer Olympics. That's probably the last time I did anything. But, of course, I loved doing baseball when I was at ABC, and unfortunately we went out of the baseball business at ABC back in 1995. So I've done games at the Kingdome. I've done games at I haven't done anything at T-Mobile except go to an Eagles concert. But always loved going into Seattle and enjoyed baseball. You name it. I've been in Seattle for University of Washington basketball a million years ago.
Yeah.
A bunch of other stuff. But that's one of my favorite spots. When people say, where do you like to go? Seattle is like right at the top of the list.
Which sport do you miss calling the most?
I would say, baseball, because I built my career early on around it. And I did in the early 70s, I did 3 years of the Big Red Machine in Cincinnati. So I had Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, Tony Perez, Joe Morgan in their prime, Sparky Anderson managing the team, the Big Red Machine. And then I would have stayed for a longer period of time, but in 1974, the San Francisco Giants came calling and tripled my salary. So as much as I wanted to stay in Cincinnati, I knew I was leaving one of the great teams of all time, and they would go on to win the World Series in 1975 and 1976. The bank account beckoned.
What was it, about $6, $7, $8 million difference probably back then, something like that?
In those years, no, we're talking about a few thousand and a decimal point with a few coins at the end of it. Yeah, that was a totally different thing. And in fact, my first year in Cincinnati in 1971, Pete Rose is holding out. He's holding out for like $110,000 a year, and the Reds are offering like 102.5 or something. They settled at 105. So that's where we were that many years ago. Now, Ohtani's at bat is more than Rose made that year.
Well, you referenced the Kingdome. It was fun yesterday. Carl Ravitz was on with us. He did the Sunday night Mariners baseball game. And it's been some time, Al, since our baseball team has been in this kind of place, controlling their destiny, could have a first-round bye, kind of hearkening back to the early 2000s, as you referenced, some of those games in the Kingdome in the 90s. For those that may not know, like new Mariners fans that are listening to the station and following this team, as we're the flagship of them as well, what was this town like when you were in town for some of those Mariners highlights?
Well, actually, I did a game in, I think, 1995 in the Kingdome. The Yankees were in town, and I think an 18-year-old kid had just been called up, and I interviewed him before the game, and his name was Alex Rodriguez. So I did one of his first ever games when he was up there. Also, here's something interesting. Going back to the Cincinnati years, so in the clubhouse, adjacent to the clubhouse, after the game, the wives would be there and the kids would be there. So we had a lot of kids running around in that clubhouse. One of those kids, who was 2 years old at the time, Ken Griffey Jr., because Senior was playing with they called Senior up in the 1973 season. So you can say I've known Ken Griffey Jr. since he was 2, but not really. But anyway, we go all the way back. I mean, Hal McRae's son, Brian, had a pretty good career. Tony Perez's son, Eduardo, was in there. Pete Rose's son. So that clubhouse was full of little tykes who went on to some pretty good things. But, I always enjoyed just coming to Seattle. I mean, the city is so beautiful. It obviously reminds me so much of like San Francisco and Vancouver, and with the water, it's beautiful, and the hills. So, I remember those years. The Kingdome wasn't exactly the greatest place on earth. The memory that, of course, stands out for me in the Kingdome was doing the Bo Jackson run in 1987 when he ran up the tunnel and stopped in Tacoma. So a lot of good memories about what took place in your town, guys.
We're talking to Al Michaels. Not that that's a surprise. Anybody listening who knows anything about sports knows the voice, and that's who we're talking to right now. We were just talking about Brock and I love talking about announcing teams and play-by-play, and I really do consider it part of the fun of watching sports. Who is your? I mean, we talk about Mount Rushmores, and I'm sure you've been asked before, but who is on your Mount Rushmore outside of yourself? Because you're right there on our list. Who else would be on your Mount Rushmore of play-by-play announcers?
Well, I grew up in Brooklyn, so when I was 6 years old, I heard the Dodgers' young announcer, who was the number 3 guy in that booth. His name just happened to be Vin Scully. So I heard almost the entire Vin Scully career because our family moved from New York to Los Angeles the same year the Dodgers did. So Vinny was a gigantic influence in my life. Another man would be Kurt Gowdy, who was at NBC all of those years when NBC had the rights to the early Super Bowls and the World Series, and he did the Olympics, and he did American Sportsman with Ted Williams. So he'd be another guy. And then I would say that Jim McKay would be another. Jim, of course, worked for many, many years as the host of Wide World. So the great thing is I got to work with Kurt Gowdy and with Jim McKay through, as my career started out. And then Vinny became I never worked with Vinny, but became a great friend through the years. So that's my Mount Rushmore. You got Scully, you got McKay, and you got Gowdy. And then, of course, I had the opportunity to do about 8 years of baseball with one Howard Cosell. Howard's on a different mountain than Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
All right, fair enough.
Well, a couple last minutes on this game Thursday. Now, I'm going to guess in the rhythm of calling a game on Thursday, that gives you now a chance, Al, on Sundays to watch a lot of football and to actually watch the TV broadcasts of the games and the teams you're going to call. So I'm guessing you watch Sunday's Seahawks-Saints game. Is you ready for Thursday night? What do we think about this crew with Mike Macdonald in year 2?
Pretty good so far. I'm trying to figure out how they are so great on the road. You guys, I'm sure, have talked about it. 8-1 on the road, and a team that has such a home field advantage, or has historically. The Seahawks have problems at home, so I'm trying to figure that baby out. By the way, guys, the last time I did a Seahawk-Cardinal game 9 years ago in Arizona, you remember the famous 6-6 overtime tie? I know you do. So I did.
Come on,
Hauska!
Come on, Hauska! Make the kick!
Hauska, I know. That game was so horrible it was actually great. And don't forget the last time I did a Seahawks game was around Christmas last year, 6-3 in Chicago.
Jeez.
So for anybody who wants to put a few shekels on the game, I have been. I've been the king of the under. I'm expecting a little bit more. No, obviously they look great the other day. I'm happy for Sam Darnold. I mean, it's so interesting. I mean, to me, Darnold's had, it's kind of an interesting thing, a little bit like the Baker Mayfield career. When you think about it, in 2018, Mayfield gets picked number 1 by Cleveland. Darnold's number 3 by the Jets. Neither guy makes it there. And then, for Baker, he winds up going to Carolina. Then they let him go. He goes to Sean McVay for 48 hours. And affects that fantastic comeback on Thursday night, and that sort of resurrected his career. Now look at him with the undefeated Buccaneers. And with Sam, it's kind of the same thing. He bounces around. He's here, he's there. Then he goes, he's the understudy in San Francisco. Then Minnesota, of course, when McCarthy gets hurt, he has the great year that leads to Seattle. So I'm happy with it. I love to see, stories like that, like Mayfield and Darnold, are 2 guys, 1 and 3 in that 2018 draft. That 2018 draft, by the way, so Josh Allen is the next quarterback pick. That's pretty good. And then Josh Rosen gets picked, and that didn't turn out very well. And then the last guy in that draft, the 32nd pick, of course, was Lamar Jackson.
Pretty crazy. And then you bring up Josh Rosen. Arizona quit on him early, probably the right move, because they drafted Kyler Murray, who you'll see on Thursday night.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that was so Rosen's there 1 year. And then they bring Cliff Kingsbury in, as I recall. Mm-hmm. And Kingsbury says, Josh is my guy, unless I can get Kyler Murray in the draft number 1, which they did. So it's kind of, I love stories like that, especially, if you got a route going and all that stuff. You go to your saddlebags and you have to go someplace when the score is like 42-3. But of course, with me, the score is always like 6-6.
All right. So Brock said, still no vegetables, still no kitchen, but you now have a fridge freezer. So my obvious question is, what room does the fridge freezer go in if there is no kitchen?
Well, no, there's a let's put it this way. There's a table. So that and we've got a barbecue pit, right? So I just go into the freezer, let it thaw. I did it last night. put a steak on the grill, and away you go, man.
Attaboy.
I'm no veggies, but plenty of fruits and poultry and fish and meat. So here I am. So maybe I've created a new template for eating, but I would tell kids don't do this at home.
Well, the greatest story of all, Al, and thank you for this time as always. We love it. Our audience loves it. The greatest story of all, that just reading your old Wikipedia page, it will be 60 years of marriage for you next August. 60
Correct. Yep.
Years.
Found the right girl.
Wow.
I found the right girl.
Congratulations.
That's pure luck. 10th grade. Are you kidding me? I know. I'm with you, man. Totally. The best.
Well,
very lucky.
We appreciate it, Al. Thank you so much. I'll also say on a personal note, my 11-year-old daughter's been playing hockey, so we showed her Miracle, and now she's at 11 already on the Al Michaels bandwagon, and she's gotten a chance to believe in miracles herself. So just want to say thanks.
The last thing, guys, is speaking of hockey, Climate Pledge Arena. I'm a gigantic hockey fan, gigantic. We have King season tickets for 30 years. Climate Pledge is the best hockey arena in the country, number one.
It's awesome.
Absolutely.
And we might have the best hockey announcer in the country. Forsland is unbelievably
He's great.
So good.
Man, he's
great.
Good. Wow. All right.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
Al, you got to go. We got to go. Thank you so much. Enjoy the game on Thursday. I hope we get more than 12 total points scored. And we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Me too. Thanks, guys. Take care.
There you go. The great Al Michaels. Brock, that's just awesome. 6'6" and what did he say? 9'3"? Unbelievable. All right. We're going to take a break. We'll come right back with DJ. We'll be just a few minutes late with him, but then we'll wrap up the show with Daniel Jeremiah. Talk a little bit more in depth about this game and where the Seahawks are at next on Brock and Salk.
It's been a while since we talked magic number around here. This team does that, or whoever beats the other whoever, and yeah, it's a lot. So here's a nerd who can help.
The Mariners win 3 games, Mariners win 1, the Astros lose 2, or a combination of the Tigers, the Red Sox.
Hey, thanks, Lefko. Steamrolling toward the postseason tonight. Mariners and Rockies at T-Mobile. First pitch 6:40.
Chants of the crowd getting louder and louder.
On the home of your first place Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
All right, guys, luxury awaits right now at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Book for an unforgettable experience. Yes, the new hotel is really amazing. All of the rooms are incredible. Was blown away by the new restaurant. It's got this cool view, kind of an indoor-outdoor thing. Tons of TVs, great food. There's a new pool area. You name it. The new spa. How about the new expanded non-smoking gaming floor? It's all there. You can find out more at snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things are about to change, and some things aren't. If you ride without a Good to Go account, you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. Having Good to Go means it'll cost less than pay by mail. Not a change. Carpoolers will need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. A Good to Go pass saves you $2 on every toll. No change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com. Free Flex Passes while supplies last.
This is Joe Budden. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. So I'm here to make sure you don't miss any of the daily fantasy action this football season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right.
Download the Prize Picks app today and use code PLAYNOW to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. That's code PLAYNOW to get $50 in site credits after you play your first $5. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Out here, pets are always by your side, watching the herd, running fence lines, or asleep at your feet. Pets are some of our favorite customers. When you bring them along to Tractor Supply, we'll always have a treat waiting. And with our price match guarantee, you'll always get the best price on their favorite food, toys, treats they love, and pet meds to keep them healthy. Tractor Supply, for pets out here.
Transforming your land with a John Deere compact tractor is as easy as connect, latch, load, haul, spread. Cutting grass is as simple as roll, click, mow. Box blading is as effortless as hook, lock, grade. And backhoeing is as convenient as turn around, switch, dig. Because when you've got the versatility to tackle just about any job and dealer support in your own backyard, you just have to get in the seat. Find the right compact tractor for you at johndeere.com.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Is your car road trip ready? Don't get stranded. Get to Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Bucky's has been preparing cars, trucks, and SUVs for safe, worry-free travel for over 50 years. We take care of your car with experience and good old-fashioned customer service. For all your oil changes, brakes, AC charging, and factory maintenance, choose Bucky's. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit Bucky's.com. Bucky's, where your car feels right at home.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
You know, we make a really, really good effort, Brock, to be on time. And certainly when we have big guests like Daniel Jeremiah, we would hate to be late. It's only for like an Al Michaels. DJ, I'm sorry. You have our deepest apologies and sincere apologies. We don't mean to be late. We went along with Al Michaels. I don't know how else to say it. It was Al Michaels, and he's special. He's different from everybody else.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the highlights of my career has been getting to know Al, and I'll get maybe a phone call a year from him. You know, if they're got a Charger game or something, he'll call for some thoughts there. He called me when the Chargers GM job was open to, literally call and say, would you like me to, talk to Mr. Spanos?
Wow.
And da, 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 da. He's like, he is the best guy in the whole world. But here's my issue. He said, hey, anytime you want, I love, if are you into golf? I said, yeah, I've gotten into golf. I love golf. I said, anytime you want, you come up here and play. But then it's like, how do you then go from there?
Right.
Is this an invitation that Al is just such a good guy that he extends to everyone, but it's like nobody cashes in that chip? I would love to do it. I would absolutely love to do it, but I don't know how to do it.
What's the do you text with Al or do you call Al? Like, how does that work?
Mostly call. Yeah.
Don't you think you say, this is important. We got to really work through this together here. Don't you think you call him and say, hey, Al, I'm going to be in LA whatever day for such and such. I'm planning on bringing the sticks. Are you available any of those days to play? Then he can easily be like, no, not going to be in town, yada, yada, whatever. Like, he can easily say no if it's really an invitation. But if it's legit, he's like, yeah, meet me at my club X day, and off you go.
And if he says no, you've kind of planted the seed that,
Right.
oh, that's right, I did invite him in the past.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a good play, Salky.
But there's 3 levels to this. Okay, there's 3 potential outcomes.
We got
I thought
Seahawks
this
to
through.
talk.
Yeah, all right.
We'll get to the Seahawks in a minute.
Yeah, whatever.
Really like what Darian Kendrick did, but let's get back to Al and the important issues here. Number 1, the best thing would be Al takes me up on it, and we go play golf, and I can tell my buddies and friends I played golf with Al Michaels for the rest of my life. It's a great story.
Oh.
The second option, the second best on this podium, so the silver medal is Al invited me to play golf, which is where I am right now. I'm sitting on a silver medal.
Right.
Okay. And then the third option, which would be the worst of the 3, is I try and initiate this, and Al goes, not happening. So I'm sitting in second place right now. Would I love to be in first place? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But third place would be worse.
I think you got to look
now.
at the evidence here. The evidence suggests that he said he would call the Spanoses for you to get you a GM interview. If he was willing to do that, I think he's willing to spend 3-4 hours playing golf with you.
Oh man! And then I would ask him.
You got to take the risk, DJ. He's going to be 81 in November. You take this risk and you call in that chip. Now, let me tell you one last thing. Let me tell you one last thing. I got to play 18 holes with Tom Rinaldi, who's one of the world's greatest storytellers. And as cool as the golf was, the Tiger Woods stories, the stories on every hole. You play with Al Michaels for 3-4 hours and you talk sports with him, DJ. You've got to take this risk.
Yeah, you got to do it.
It's not even a question now.
Yeah. And wear the shirt you're wearing right now. See what Al says about that.
Okay, it's a little. It's a lot.
It's busy. I like it. I'm a fan of the busy golf shirt. I'm into that. All right, let's talk some Seahawks. Sorry, we're a few minutes late, as we mentioned, but let's talk some Seahawks, and we'll start with Sam Darnold because I was impressed. Everyone seems to have been impressed with what Darnold did this past weekend. I think what blew me away was there was no running game to go with it. I mean, our big feeling was, yeah, Darnold will be great as long as there's a running game. He can complement it. There was no running game. They didn't run the ball well at all against the Saints, and Darnold was still great. Have we been underestimating and underrating Sam Darnold?
I think there's a lot of things that can be true here. Number 1, Sam has gotten comfortable in this offense and in this setup very early, which is great. He played great in this game. He's played great all year, but in this game specifically, it was not just efficient. It was explosive. Everything was down the field. I think he had the second highest yards per attempt of any quarterback this week, based off what they did. And then the third thing is that's the worst team in the NFL. I mean, they are awful. They are very, very much in contention, not just to have the first overall pick, but I don't see a lot of, if any, wins on that schedule. So that's a god-awful team that they just played against. So I think all those things can be true. But when you're going through and watching it, he's so loose and comfortable right now, where he's moving left and throwing right, and the ball's right where it needs to be. He's on time. He's driving the ball. Maybe 2 throws that got away from him, but there were very few negatives when you're going through the tape of watching him. And they did a nice job keeping him clean. I mean, they did a nice job protecting him as well. So I thought overall it was an easy game. I got to the tape and I'm like, I didn't watch the game on TV, obviously. And I get to the start of the fourth quarter and I see Drew Lock. And then it's one of those deals, Brock, where you're watching the tape and you're not looking at the score. And I'm like, my first thought was like, oh gosh, something happened to Sam. Then I looked up, oh no, this game's over. This game's over.
Yeah. Kind of over there about midway through the second quarter. One of the other guys that's just been extraordinary through the first 3 weeks. Only been a couple of them. I'll get to one on defense here in a second. But JSN looks like a 1. I don't know if he's got the body type that will ever bust that perception, kind of like Tyler Lockett, or we've talked a lot about Amon-Ra St. Brown. DJ, the speed, the plane speed, the deep stuff, the intermediate stuff, the short stuff. Is JSN a 1?
I think he's a 1. I don't know that you could argue anything other than that. I mean, he can do everything that you want to do on the football field. And the other thing that I don't know that I remember this or recollect this from going back to the college days or even the early stuff. I think he's playing with a little more passion and energy than even I saw. I thought he was more kind of a stoic, business-like guy, but you're seeing some passion and energy with how he's playing. So I think you add all that stuff together. He's clearly the number 1 option there. Sam trusts him. and it's not just manufactured quick hitters and run after catch, or he's settling down in zones over the middle of the field. Like, he's winning down the field, he's winning vertically, he's separating at all three levels. The run after catch is always going to be there, but I think, yeah, he's refined his game and he's playing like a one.
And then in our little Blue 88 segment today, I referenced the number one interior defensive lineman in the NFL. Interior defensive lineman, he's number one in sacks, he's number one in pressures, he's number one in hurries, he's number one in run stops, he's number one in solo tackles. He was on many people's board the number one defensive player in the draft a couple years ago. Are we seeing more than just the light bulb come on for Byron Murphy?
Yeah, and saying all that, I still think he's the second best defensive lineman on his team. Just going through the tape, that's how good I think Leonard is and how good Leonard has played, how much attention that he's drawn. But, you know, when I go back and watch Byron, they're, you know, using him on some games, especially later in the game. They did more of that. And, you know, he's really, really effective on that stuff. The point of attack run game was outstanding. I say it every time, but it still catches me off guard when you see him go to the knee, because it's just such a unique way that he's been taught to play that, but he does it really well. You can't get underneath him. You can't move him. He can win on the edges, but I mean, I'm going through my notes, and as good as he played, I thought what Leonard did, front side, back side, drawing attention, doubles are coming his way, freeing up everybody else. I mean, Derek Hall had a nice game. Murphy had a good game. But if I'm doing the advanced scouting report for the Seattle Seahawks and saying this is where our attention goes and whom we must stop, it's 99 for me.
Anybody playing better than him? I mean, Chris Jones still flashes, and Big Boy Carter makes some things happen in Philly, but how many years, Salk, how many years do we sit on this show and go, why can't we ever have an elite interior defensive lineman? Fletcher Cox, Aaron Donald, everybody else seemed to have one that we competed with, and we never had one. Is it fair to say that 99 is on a level that has very few peers in all the NFL right now?
I can't tell you anyone is playing better than him. I mean, I can tell you guys who've had great years and who've been dominant players, and you see it with Jeffrey Simmons and with the Titans. We've seen it with Dexter Lawrence. You know, you mentioned Chris Jones, but this year, as they're playing football right now, I can't tell you there's a defensive tackle playing better than Leonard Williams, and it's every single week, guys. And it's run game, it's pass game, it's front side, it's back side, it's who's drawing the most attention, who's helping his other guys out by that attention. He impacts the game every week.
I don't think we've ever really talked much special teams with you for obvious reasons. It doesn't come up that much, except when it does, right? Every coach likes to say all three phases, and everyone's like, yeah, all three phases. And then the Seahawks go out and just completely dominate a game with special teams this past weekend. What do you make of a team that has great special teams? Does it indicate depth? Does it indicate coaching? Is it a scouting? Like, where does great special teams come from?
I think it's a combination of investment and attitude. I think there's some teams that invest in it, and that in terms of either draft picks or dollars, in terms of what you even go out and get one of the premier special teams coaches, like those, there's the investment side of it. And then I just think there's the cultural buy-in and the attitude that you have guys that take pride in it. And I think it's been one of the undercoached or one of the underappreciated aspects of pro football for quite some time. And everybody used to always say the old adage was right. You got to win 2 out of the 3 phases. You got to, you know, offense, defense, special teams. If you can win 2 out of those 3, you're going to win games. And it seems like the shortest line to be good in those phases is on special teams. With some of those investments. So I'd be honest with you, I did not go through their special teams tape. You could have told me they returned 6 punts for touchdowns or blocked 6 PATs. I wouldn't be able to tell you what I saw.
They returned 1 for a touchdown and blocked a punt. I mean, like, they were unbelievable. And in fact, I don't know how much stock you put in the whole DVOA thing, but they're number 1 right now in the league in DVOA. A punt return and a block and stuff will probably do that. But it has been pretty incredible. All right, well, then let me ask you about a guy that you probably did watch some tape on and probably weren't expecting to a few years ago, and that's this kid, Josh Jobe, who has really kind of taken over on the corner for them, was attacked constantly in that game and played well. He made me think a lot yesterday about scouts, because without good scouting, I don't know how you find a Josh Jobe who's just not like in the public eye until all of a sudden he is. When you were scouting, how would you look and try to find guys like him?
Well, I mean, you start with a couple different things. Anytime you're playing that position, how they, the speed and how they move is going to be an important part of it. So you're going to look at all that stuff. But the other aspect of it is he scheme versatile? Can he do multiple things? And is he intelligent? Can he find and play the ball? Is the instincts portion of it? So I have to go back through and look through my notes. If you guys gave me the year, I could probably go back there and pull him up of what I thought of him specifically. But he was obviously he'd been coached very well coming out. So did you
ever do pro scouting? You always do amateur?
Yeah, my first 2 years, yeah.
Because he's really, for the Seahawks anyway, a story of pro scouting. I mean, he was playing for the Eagles. They let him go. He's on the street. What do you look for from guys on the street? Like, how do you find a guy on the street, bring him in, and within a year, he's an integral part of your team?
Usually there's a connection there. So it's not just what you see with your eyes. It's, hey, we've got guys on our team that have played with him. We've got coaches that have come across his path at some point in time. We always talk about having a sponsor. It's nice to have a sponsor in the building, whether it's on the field, coaching staff, personnel. And then it could even be, hey, we had some love for this guy during the draft process. We had some college scouts that went in there that raved about this kid's makeup, how he might fit in our building. It didn't work out for us to get him in on the first time, but that's how they kind of stay on your radar and stay on your ready list when that comes together. That's really what pro scouting is.
Biggest key for a Thursday night game is you've evaluated and looked at it over the years. You've been part of broadcasts for them. Biggest key if Seattle's going to go in here in just a couple days down to the desert and maintain what they've been with Macdonald, which is excellent on the road, 8-1 in their last 9 road games. How do they get it done on the road Thursday night?
Well, you start with the week. It's just got to be a locked in mental week. You're not going to get a lot of physical work on the practice field. I know, a lot of teams, they'll even have kind of a setup after the Sunday game the week before where guys are going and trying to get refreshed after the game, and in terms of starting with your treatments, starting with trying to prepare yourself on a short week to get ready to go. But you got to be completely locked in and focused from a mental standpoint, and you've got to really, as you would know, like you've got to really, really grind and get yourself physically ready to go. So if you can be physically as healthy as you can be, and then mentally be in a great spot, you've got a fighting chance. I think it's the toughest thing. I don't care who you're playing. Short week, Thursday game, if you're on the road, that's still the toughest thing to do. And you'll see a lot of times where teams have no business, talent-wise losing those Thursday night games, but they don't handle it correctly.
Yeah. You have any more Seahawks stuff, Salky, or I want to ask him a Russell Wilson question as news just breaks?
I had a Daniel Jones question, maybe a Russell Wilson question.
News
just
know
what's
breaks
going on with the
20
Panthers.
minutes ago that Russ, they're moving on from Russ. It's going to be Jackson Dart. If we would have been doing this show in 21, DJ, and Russ is last year here in Seattle, and someone would have said to us at the end of that season, our very last show of that season, that Russ was going to be traded to Denver. It would not go well in Denver. It would not go well in Pittsburgh. It would not go well with the New York Giants. A once bona fide absolute lock of a Hall of Fame career with 9 Pro Bowls in his first 10 seasons and a Super Bowl, that he would have this outcome just 3-4 years later. Would you have ever believed it?
I don't think it would have been something I would have thought was likely, but I would have said it was possible, just because anytime you have quarterbacks where their legs are a key component, and, Russ threw for a bunch of yards and he improved as a pocket guy throughout his career, but his legs were still a crucial part of what he did in terms of being able to extend some plays, being able to go grab some free first downs with his legs. And once his legs are gone, he was, that basically doomed him in his career. And you get outside of a system and a personnel group that you're comfortable with, an environment you're comfortable with, it fell off really, really quick. But if you look at the quarterbacks who've had longevity, you look at guys that have played, to their 40s or close to their 40s, and you start thinking about guys who've had some success. Obviously, Phillip Rivers had some success in his late 30s. Drew Brees had success. Like those guys, the legs weren't any part of a key component to their game. And so, that to me is that wouldn't have been completely shocking, but it did fall off a cliff.
The Seahawks have a positive 41 point differential right now. That's second in the NFL, behind, of course, the Indianapolis Colts, who are 3-0 under Daniel Jones. What am I supposed to make of this? I mean, the Daniel Jones thing really kind of blows me away after watching him all these years. What has happened?
Well, I'm starting to buy into this get the heck out of New York theory of rescuing quarterbacks. When you look at Geno, you look at Sam, and you look now at Daniel Jones. And I've said it like over the last 30 years, tell me if I'm wrong, but Eli's the only one who's had sustained success in that market, Jets or Giants. Like, who's the quarterback who's had a nice sustained run? And really, Eli's was more postseason driven.
Mark Sanchez would probably be the second one, right? And,
yeah, but how long was
exactly,
that? I mean,
not
that
great,
was,
no.
I'm talking about somebody who had an 8-year plus successful run, which is what you would expect when you're taking a quarterback high in the first round. So it chews them up and spits them out. So that's part of it. And I think the other part of it is I've been around Shane Steichen. He is a really, really good coach. And not only can he scheme it up, but I think he kind of just infused him with some confidence. So I think the combination of he's playing with a better group. You know, the offensive line he played behind was so bad for so long, really his whole time there in New York. So he's got a better group in front of him. He's got a coach kind of instilled him with some confidence who's designing it really well. And he's out of the pressure cooker, man. Like it's just different.
Because we're friends, DJ, and have become friends over the years, and even closer friends doing this every week. You know what I do every night? I keep an eye on the Padres.
It's nice.
That a baby.
I take a look over there. I wonder, because you, like me, your fandom is fanatical when it comes to the Padres, like mine is for the Mariners. Do you keep an eye likewise as friends on, what are the Salk and Brock and Salk doing up there with the Mariners? You seeing what's cooking up here?
I do. I know that it's a home run hitting contest that you guys have been having, but I'll be totally honest. I think you're a better friend than I am because I only keep an eye on you because I want to make sure that you guys aren't like locked into a playoff position before the Dodgers come to town because there's still an outside shot.
Yeah.
But like fix like
that
in
could
terms
happen
of
by
like
the end of the
3
series.
or the 2.
They could be locked into the 2 by the end of the series.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping.
Whoa! What did you say?
Frick.
Oh, frick. Okay, yeah. Well, I know what kind of guy you are. I want to make sure.
I don't use that word.
The FCC's been all over the place recently.
No, but I just okay. I'm happy
we gotta
for
go.
you.
Goodbye, DJ.
All right.
When we talk
DJ.
next, the baseball season will be over. The Seahawks.
Season.
The regular season will be over, and we'll see what the Seahawks and Cardinals do on Thursday night. DJ, we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
See you guys.
Next Tuesday at 9:30. Thank you, Brock. We got to get out of here and turn things over to Bump and Stacy. I know, kind of a fast show. That's what happens when you got Passan, Al Michaels, and Daniel Jeremiah. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
You know what we are today, Salk? We're spoiled.
Yeah, we are.
You're spoiled.
We all are. Yeah, not Jeff, not Mariners fans, just us. Hey, we could be talking about a playoff-bound Mariner team when we come in tomorrow morning. We'll be here at 6 a.m. Until then, the Hay
Barnes.
See everybody.
Get to the chopper! Be the first to hear from Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald the morning after every game on the Mike Macdonald Show.
Good morning, Coach. How are you? This thing on? On and ready for you.
The morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
Being in front of the 12s is going to be a lot of fun. Trying to bring everybody together so we can push in the same direction.
Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app and seattlesports.com. It's the Mike Macdonald Show, only on Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks.
Northwest homeowners, when it comes to your roof, you need a name you can trust. Techline Roofing has proudly served the Seattle area for years, delivering exceptional results and lasting security. Choose Techline Roofing. Your trust is our foundation. Trust Techline.
At O'Neill Plumbing, we don't just promise to get the job done, we back it up. No travel charge, no show-up fee, no overinflated pricing, and no out-of-town owners. Just clean, fast, and professional each and every day. O'Neill Plumbing.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Let's go.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Is your car road trip ready? Don't get stranded. Get to Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Bucky's has been preparing cars, trucks, and SUVs for safe, worry-free travel for over 50 years. We take care of your car with experience and good old-fashioned customer service. For all your oil changes, brakes, AC charging, and factory maintenance, choose Bucky's. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit Bucky's.com. Bucky's, where your car feels right at home.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Storybook season by Cal Raleigh. He has done it.
2026 Mariners season ticket memberships are on sale now. There's no better way to catch Cal, Julio, and the crew at T-Mobile Park with year-round savings, no ticket fees, access to exclusive pre-sales and events, and more. And you've got two great options. Reserved memberships let you lock in the best locations in the ballpark so you can make your favorite spot home all summer long, whether you want to catch 20 games or the whole season.
Oh, he makes the catch. What a snag by Julio Rodriguez.
Or go with a Flex membership, which gives you the freedom to choose your seats, games, and number of tickets as you go. Terrace Club, bleachers, right behind the dugout, divvy it up however you want. This season's been a whole lot of fun, and you won't want to miss out in 2026. Come on board today at mariners.com/26.
The Mariners, their third consecutive shutout win.
Mariners baseball. Seize the